All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Waiting patiently, as always, for the intro to finish up. I hope everybody is doing well. Excuse me. On this Sunday, January 18th, we're already 18 days into the new year. Where does the time go? Ghetto God, what's up, man? I am Ayoto, Petrov, Lady Gamer, MRPD, Mini Tom. Mini Tom says, I cannot wait to play as Leon. To be honest, when I think of Resident Evil remakes from the past, it's always Leon. So if that kid got to play GTA 6 early... Oh, okay, you're talking about that GTA 6 article, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Whiskey Gaming, what's going on, man? Just a reminder, guys, by the way, in the pinned comment above, not only is there a direct donation link, but below that, there is the link to our newly created Discord. Okay, we have a Discord for the MBG community. Anybody can join it. So feel free to check that out if you're interested. Hellbound, what's up, man? Yeah, so we have a couple of different topics we're going to be talking about over the course of today's podcast episode. One of the main topics of discussion is going to be Resident Evil 9. And I want to talk about the new gameplay we just saw Capcom reveal, but I also want to talk about, how we're feeling about the dual aspect of this game, where on one side, it's going to be horror-based, on the other, it's going to be action-oriented, an evolution of RE4's gameplay, and how the director of the game is saying that it's basically going to be two different games in one. Curious to see what you guys think of that. We'll discuss that extensively. We're also going to be talking a little bit about Marathon, and we're going to try to answer the question as best we can. Is Marathon beginning to win players over? Does it look like it has a better chance than it previously did? And, what inspired me to ask this question is the new video that Bungie put out where they are showing off the different runners, talking about the different abilities and seeing a bit of, I don't know, like a little bit more positivity potentially, but, we'll talk about that. And we're also going to talk a little bit more about the God of War TV series. We got some casting recently, but I just want to kind of talk about our expectations with this God of War show. Are we expecting good things? Are we nervous? Are we feeling good? How are we feeling about the casting decision so far? How are we feeling about them not covering the Greek era and just going right to God of War 2018 and Ragnarok? And I'm sure we're going to talk about some other random things over the course of this channel as well as stream over the course of this channel. Yeah, but certainly we'll talk about random things over the course of this channel. But over the course of this stream, we have high community engagement, so I'm sure we will go in different directions at random points. You never know. You never quite know. But yeah, appreciate you guys joining me. Do me a favor, if you can, take a moment, hit that like button. It helps with YouTube's algorithm, and it lets me know you enjoy the content. So if you want to help the stream out in just the smallest way, beyond just watching it, that's what you can do. But if you want to support the channel in a bigger way, you can become a channel member, okay? We recently just did an afternoon with the missus, which you guys seem to really enjoy. Plus, we have members-exclusive content that you will gain access to, and we will continue to do throughout the weeks and months. Consider gifting memberships, consider becoming a member. Do one or the other, or both. It all helps. Super chats, direct donations, all these things help tremendously. So thank you to everybody who supports the channel, the community, and the content. You guys make this possible. Couldn't do it without you. Hey, MBG, I would like to know if you like other prog rock and metal bands apart from Opeth and Gojira. Genesis, the Mars Volta, Muse, Rush. Rush is classic. I'm not like super into prog rock. Opeth is probably as far as I go. I don't know. I do like Dream Theater as well. But yeah, sometimes I just put random stuff on. And I don't even know what half the bands are. I just am listening to the song and trying to figure out if I like it. I've been doing that lately. Um, Getting the Ghost of Yote Platinum while watching Let's Go. Well, good to hear, Yoto. Good luck with that. Yeah, I'm still in the process of trying to get the platinum for Mafia: The Old Country. It's taking longer than I expected. Right now, I'm doing my playthrough on hard difficulty. They do have a trophy that requires that, and so far it's not too difficult. It's just a bit time consuming because there's a lot of sections in the game that you can't really skip or rush through. It's just kind of on rails, and I don't mind that. When I was playing it the first time, I love that stuff because it really helps build up the characters and the story. But when you're playing it a second or third time, it's like, all right, well, let's just kind of get through this so I can get this here trophy. But I have a positive update for Mafia: The Old Country. I have gotten almost all of the collectibles. I only need like 6 more. So I did it. I did the thing. And I should have that platinum very soon. And I think I've made the decision, at least in my mind. We'll see what happens. I've made the decision that I think I want to try to platinum. I want to replay and potentially platinum Resident Evil 4 Remake next. Seeing the Resident Evil gameplay once again has just gotten me so excited for this title. And specifically seeing Leon's gameplay, and my God, the brutality. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It really is getting me. It's, getting me in that mood where I'm like, yeah. I think it's time. I never did play the Separate Ways DLC either. Platinum it in VR. Oh my God, that sounds nightmarish, dude. I love Resident Evil 4 Remake in VR. It's incredible. And we have Rock Fresh 1993, a member for 6 months. Says MBG the GOAT. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Rock Fresh. I'm glad you appreciate the channel and appreciate what we do here. Thank you for being a member. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, Miguel. I hear you. Yo, Mr. B likes Rush. Yeah, I wasn't able to include that in my video today, Johnny Gaming. Far Cry 3 got a 60 FPS update, or it's going to on January 21st. This is quite random. Ubisoft, that is, seems to also be teasing other Far Cry games like Primal that are seemingly going to get 60 FPS updates. I feel like it's so random. I mean, these games are quite old, but it's cool. It's cool to see that. Excuse me. MRPD, you're saying you'll probably feel worn out because RE4 will feel so similar to RE9 and it won't feel new to you when RE9 comes out. I did that with Ragnarok and I regret it. Interesting. I mean, it's possible. It's possible, MRPD. I guess I'll think about that before I make the decision. I don't know, though. Well, yeah, we are really close to launch. Now that you mention it, I mean, that's a pretty short time frame for me to try to get the platinum for RE4. I wonder if I could find myself in a weird situation where I'm playing RE4 trying to platinum that while also playing Resident Evil 9. That'd be interesting. MRPD's he's worried about me though, man. He's like, bro, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea. Is Marathon out? No, Marathon is not out yet. Marathon still doesn't have a release date, which is so weird. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this with a big AAA title where they're like, it's coming out in March. We're not telling you when. What's up with that? Like, I feel like that's so strange, considering we're presumably less than 2 months away from it launching. They're like, we're still not giving you a date. It is really strange. I don't know why they're doing that. My guess is that maybe they're afraid. Maybe they're being super particular about, we got to put it in the exact right day. Perfect. I don't know. They're overthinking it. Big time. They're overthinking it. We have Rich Rod, member for 30 months. Thank you, Rich Rod. We love you. You're saying, hey guys, it's been a while. Hope all is well. Sucks being banned and disowned by MBG in the community. Xbox is still disgusting and they deserve sadness. Rich, that might be the most normal posts I've seen from you, man. It's a bit hyperbolic, certainly, but I sense some progress. I sense some progress. He says Xbox is still disgusting, though. We love you, Rich. Appreciate you being a member for so long, man. Well, actually, Rich, you should be excited because this week on the 22nd, we have I think it's the 22nd, right? We have an Xbox Direct. Exciting times, Rich. Exciting times. No, actually, I'm not actually being facetious. I am actually excited for it. I'm really interested to see Forza Horizon 6. And for those wondering, yeah, I will be streaming that event. I'm really curious to see Fable as well, but Forza is the big one that I'm looking forward to. And I don't think it's going to be a day one launch on PS5, but that's okay. Still super stoked for that game. And, eventually it'll come to PS5. And I'm really excited about the setting, the fact that they're finally taking it to Japan. So we'll be streaming that. You're much more interested in the Resident Evil Code Veronica remake than Requiem. You played the former with your old cousin in the summer of 2000s in Spain. Great times. Yeah, a lot. So that's something else that's worth noting here is Dusk Golem, the leaker who got pretty much everything correct about Resident Evil 9. There was this rumor circulating from somebody. I don't know who claimed this, but somebody was claiming that Resident Evil 5 remake is getting announced in a couple months. And this comes not too long after, I think, the voice actress from that game said, or it didn't say anything, but kind of teased some kind of announcement in March. And Dusk Golem came out and said, no, that's not happening. There's not going to be an RE5 remake announcement. The next announcement is going to be a remake for Code Veronica X. So, yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. We've been hearing about Code Veronica X. We've been hearing that this is a game that Capcom has been thinking about remaking for a long time, and it feels like the next logical one. I mean, I understand why people would think 5 would be next, but 5 is going to be an interesting one to remake. I mean, one of the things that Capcom, unfortunately, is likely anticipating is some kind of nonsensical drama around it. So they're probably going to take their good old time with that one. But yeah, Code Veronica is a classic. And for a lot of people, that is their favorite Resident Evil. So that's one that, I mean, that could be a... Code Veronica could be as big as Resident Evil 2 and 4 remake if they do it right. If they do it right. So, and there's also Resident Evil 0 that I think they're remaking. MRPD are saying Fable, Saros, GTA 6, Wolverine, 007, Control 2, Gears E-Day, Resident Evil 9, Tomb Raider, Lego Batman, Blood of Dawnwalker, Marathon, Crimson Desert, all coming out this year. Probably going to be the best year ever. Dude, I know, when you lay it out like that, and there's a bunch of other games on top of that, right, that you didn't even mention. This is why I question if I should even try to, like, should I play Resident Evil 4 and try to platinum it? Should I even go back to any of these games? Because I know that pretty much starting with Resident Evil 9 next month, like, that basically kicks it off. Once that starts, it's over. It's just going to, at that point, it's trying to keep up again. No more working on the backlog. You're asking, is Code Veronica good? Ghetto God says it's very good. Will says Code Veronica X on the Dreamcast was so good. I played a lot of Code Veronica. I never actually sat down and beat the whole thing, though. I actually watched somebody else beat the ending of it, but in terms of me having like a singular playthrough, it never happened. So I would actually be excited for a Code Veronica X remake, because it would feel kind of new for me in a sense. Same thing with Resident Evil 0. I never did play Resident Evil 0. I don't even know if that's considered a good Resident Evil game or not. So a remake for that would be great. Resident Evil Downpour. Lady, you're saying Wolverine is a day one for you? Yeah, I'm a big Leon fan as well, Mini Tom. Yeah, I'm a Leon fanboy. I can't deny it. Dude, the gameplay in RE9 looks nuts, bro, with Leon. I'm going to be honest, I'm excited about the horror aspect of Resident Evil 9. And I think Grace seems like she's going to be a good character. But man, it's going to feel probably really hard after playing the Leon sections, just being so insanely over the top and just smashing zombies' heads and roundhousing them like 3 times and then hatcheting them. It's like, damn. I need more of that. Whiskey, you're saying you've never been a Resident Evil fan? Interesting. You're saying you played a lot of them, but you don't like them. Okay. Yeah, I understand that. I know games like Resident Evil are definitely not for everybody. I think for a lot of people, it's the slower pace, potentially, or even the puzzles. But also, Resident Evil can get kind of silly, which is something that I think, every Resident Evil fan can agree on. They can get kind of silly. But the atmosphere is your favorite part of what they showed for Resident Evil 9 so far. Dude, I'm telling you, with Resident Evil 9, I could be wrong about this, and I'm prepared to be wrong. But I feel like they are hiding something with this game. And I don't want to say it's like something like major, but it might be. Apparently, Colt Eastwood dropped a $2 direct donation. Something tells me it's not actually him. He says, I just want to say you guys messed up by disowning your only real defender. I forgot his name, but this decision will rise Xbox back to the top. Redfall. Bro's just screaming Redfall. Redfall Screech. That's definitely not Rich Rod saying that. Definitely not. Oh man, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do without Rich Rod here to defend our honor aggressively? I know like Rich Rod and Gaming Survivor, they want to team up and start roundhousing people metaphorically on the internet. And B Gangsters never back down. Yeah, bro, we never back down. You got it. Rich Rod. I mean, not Rich Rod. Thank you for the direct donation, my friend. Never back down. Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. What are we fighting? What are we fighting? You got people going into the Xbox developer direct, being like, I hate Xbox. But it's weird because like the whole thing's gonna be like presumably a multi-platform affair. MBG Resident Evil Requiem 70% Grace, 30% Leon gameplay. Are you happy with that? Where did you hear that? I don't think that's correct. I would not be happy with that. Boss looks different today. Yeah, that's Leia. For some reason, Leia decided she wants to sleep on the cat tower, which is fine. That's cool. I'm not sure where Boss is. Star Wars Jedi 3 coming this year. I saw a rumor about that. Yeah. I never did get to beat the second one. I started playing it and I didn't finish it. Yeah, but I don't think that's accurate, by the way. You're saying 70% Grace, 30% Leon. MRPD says that rumor was debunked. I'm pretty sure it's like 50-50. Let me see. Says this was a month ago. It says, for anyone wondering, according to the new Famitsu interview with the Resident Evil 9 director, Leon and Grace's gameplay is apparently a 50-50 split. It's a full dual protagonist situation. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I was going to say, if I had to guess, it's probably like a 50-50 thing. Because, I mean, why would it not be? Yeah, I mean, I will say, if they were a little bit nervous about Grace as a new protagonist, maybe they would have done something like I don't know, 70% Leon, 60% Leon, and do less of Grace, but a 50-50 split sounds good. It makes me wonder how long the game is. I don't know if they've said anything about that. How long will RE9 be? So it says, while unconfirmed, rumors and leaks suggest that Resident Evil 9 will be a substantial game, with the main story completion estimated for around 13 to 16 hours, potentially extending to 20 plus hours for full completions. But this has not been officially confirmed, so that's based on rumors and leaks. So we can only really do so much with that. Let's see. We have another direct donation from Rich Rod himself. He says, "Oh heavens, no! GS unblocked me for 2 minutes to respond." He says, "Yeastwood, I will slap the taste out of your mama's mouth." Shit. Okay, I'm not reading that second part. Oh my god, Xbox sucks. Rich Rod he. Hey, Rich, I got an idea. You ready? I got something crazy. This is going to blow your mind. You ready? What if, hear me out. What if you did a direct donation where you gave your thoughts on Resident Evil Requiem? I know that's a lot to take in. It's a big what if. But just think about it. All right, Rich, just think about it. And that's where I'll leave it. I appreciate the direct donations either way, though. I do appreciate it. Rich Rod tax in effect. It's happening. Is bro okay? I don't know. Rich never seems okay. Rich never seems okay, man. I'm trying to make him okay. By the way, guys, we're 3 likes away from hitting 50. Thank you for that. 2 more likes and we hit 50. But yeah, I would expect it. So like, if the game is going to be about 16 to 18 hours, let's just say like 16 hours to complete, a 50-50 split would mean 8 hours with Leon and 8 hours with Grace. And that sounds pretty good to me. Yeah. I think that sounds like a pretty good split. It's like I said, it's not really a fear or a worry, but I do suspect, based off of everything I've seen with Resident Evil Requiem, that for me personally, I'm going to be really, really excited when playing the Leon sections. And I think I imagine I will still very much enjoy Grace's sections, but I'm going to have like that eager feeling, that eagerness, to like, I want to go back to playing as Leon. Unless, who knows, maybe they'll throw a twist in, and at some point over the course of Resident Evil 9, Grace becomes a badass, and she's also roundhousing enemies and doing like fatalities and stuff. Yeah, Gothmog. Again, Dusk Golem, who is, as of right now, the most reliable Resident Evil insider, he said that the next remake that's going to be announced is Resident Evil Code Veronica. So he also made it sound like that's happening this year. Requiem seems very cool, but I prefer the Silent Hill 1 remake like they did too. Well, that's another one that's apparently coming up. We have the Silent Hill 1 remake that's in development at Bloober Team, but we haven't seen anything of it yet. That one's going to be really interesting to see because Silent Hill 1 is a PS1 title, and I just imagine it's going to require a lot more. There's gonna be a lot more that they have to change to make it feel contemporary, and I think there's a level of risk with that. I think with Resident Evil 2 remake, there was quite a bit they had to change, but it was a PS2 game ultimately, so they kind of had there wasn't as much, you could say, that had to be completely overhauled or changed. With Silent Hill 1, I feel like it's the opposite. Johnny Gaming, a member for 15 months. Thank you for that, buddy. Says, I'm a bit disappointed that Leon gameplay is there. I was hoping for a unique, full Resident Evil experience with a new protagonist like we got with Resident Evil 7. That's an interesting take, Johnny. I feel like there definitely are some Resident Evil fans that wanted something just like that. And it's understandable because Resident Evil 7, for a lot of people, is kind of like what rejuvenated the franchise for them. I can't say I feel that way myself, though. I mean, maybe I'm just a sucker for the nostalgia, but for me, Resident Evil 7 and 8, especially 7, was a really good game. They just never really felt like truly like Resident Evil to me. I accepted that, like, okay, yeah, this is a different direction they're going in, just like when Resident Evil 4 came out. For a lot of people, that didn't feel like Resident Evil. They're going in a different direction. And I accepted that. But what I was a little bit surprised about with Resident Evil 9, I kind of have like the opposite feeling of you, Johnny. I was actually surprised that they didn't do that. And instead, they went to, like, hey, we're bringing Leon back. And that's a huge difference maker for me. I can honestly tell you that if they didn't do that, I would still be very excited for the game. I don't know if I would be as excited. I have to be honest in that, just because for me, Resident Evil 4 and 2, for that matter, the Leon games, again, being the Leon fanboy, these were the games that, for me, really defined Resident Evil, and they're the first games I think of when I think of Resident Evil. So when I found out, or when the rumor was circulating, oh yeah, Leon's going to be in this game, I'm like, yo, that's going to take this game to another level for me. And it did. It absolutely did. Like, seeing that gameplay. But at the same time, I do feel like Capcom, I think they're being smart with it, because my read on Resident Evil Requiem ultimately is that they're trying to give players the best of both worlds, where it's like, listen, we're going to have half of this experience be with a brand new character. It's going to be horror based. It's going to feel very similar to games like Resident Evil 7, where it's going to have that really tense atmosphere, true survival horror, where you're the farthest thing from being a badass, right? And then the other half is going to be for, players like me who just can't get over how amazing Resident Evil 4 was, and how much of a change up it was, but a welcome one. And they're like, okay, we're going to give you that too. That's why I'm really curious to see if they can pull this off, because I've seen some people express how they are not really feeling the vibe of basically what seems to be almost two different types of games, where, you got action and you got horror, and they're not blended, they're actually separate. I think it's going to be really interesting to see if Capcom can pull this off, because I think it does run a risk. I say this as somebody who believes fully that this game will pull it off, but there is a risk that this game could feel very disjointed, and people could say, it just doesn't flow well. It feels like you're being pulled in two different directions simultaneously. However, it is the 9th game in the series. They went kind of crazy with Resident Evil 6, and I think they've learned from that. And so, yeah, I also pay attention to the fact the director said that Grace's sections are going to be more similar to, he name dropped Resident Evil 2 Remake. And I find this interesting, because I'm like, okay, so in some sense, it's like this game is going to be, again, not a blend, but a combination of, you're going to have half of this feel like Resident Evil 2 Remake, and the other half is going to feel like Resident Evil 4 Remake. That's why I don't really have much doubt here, and I don't really have any negative feelings, because, well, these were the two games that, in recent memory, I thought Resident Evil 3 Remake was fun as well. And, I played Resident Evil 7 and most of Resident Evil 8. But RE2 Remake and RE4 Remake are the ones that really, they really stand out to me. Wait, Sir Digital Dude, why are you saying happy birthday? It's not my birthday today, Sir Digital Dude. I appreciate that, but it's not my birthday today. No, my birthday passed since September. Oh, Hot Shot, YouTube didn't notify you. Damn. Big Noise, you're saying I was forcing myself through The Last of Us stages of The Last of Us Part 2. I'll probably never play it again. Or did you just play it recently? Now I'm getting more happy birthdays. Digital Dude, what have you done? Yeah. Okay, so you're saying, oh, okay, Big Noise. You were saying The Last of Us 2 feels like a game that was too long. Yeah, I mean, The Last of Us 2 definitely felt a bit longer than I think it needed to, you know? It was a bit long in the tooth. Some people appreciate that, though. Did you see me standing with Aaron Greenberg in my profile picture? No, I didn't notice that, Digital Dude. That's so funny. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's turned on us. Epic boss pose. Yeah, boss is hoping to get some treats today. We'll see. I'm not going to give it to him now, though. I don't want to disturb Leia. She's sleeping peacefully. Boss is like, treats now. Give me treats if you want to live. King Sam, what's up, man? You're saying, have you started Sekiro yet, MBG, while there's nothing big out right now? No. King Sam, I've never seen somebody more desperate for me to play a game. No, I can tell you I haven't started it yet. I don't think I plan on it. I appreciate your enthusiasm, though, King Sam. It's always appreciated. No, I'm thinking about, I'm playing Mafia the Old Country right now. I'm thinking about playing Resident Evil 4 Remake after. Oh, wow. Okay, Digital Dude. Yeah, I couldn't tell. The icon's so small for me. Chris, what's up, man? Do I think GTA 6 will be pushed to 2027? I think there's a 50% chance it could, but if it does get pushed to 2027, I do not think it will go beyond March because that would push it out of their fiscal year, and I do not think Take-Two Interactive is going to allow that. At some point, they're going to have to draw the line, you know? But I want to remain optimistic. They still have plenty of time. They got a lot of time. So here's hoping that doesn't happen. Resident Evil campaign length seems to always be on the shorter side. I don't expect Resident Evil 9 to be 15 or 20 hours long. I mean, I could see it being between like 12 and 15. That I could see that. I do get the feeling, however, that the length of the game. So one of the things I was saying earlier about how I think Capcom is still hiding something with Resident Evil Requiem. There have been rumors from Dusk Golem, and I keep referencing him because he's been accurate. A lot of people did not believe anything he said, and almost everything he said about Resident Evil 9 has turned out true. He was saying that Leon is going to have like open world type sections where you're going to be able to actually drive around and explore. And I get the feeling that if that's what most of Leon's gameplay ends up being, then the length of of this game and how long it would take to complete it might vary drastically. Where if you're somebody who wants to go explore everything and check everything out and check every nook and cranny, it could maybe increase the playtime by a whole 10 hours or something. But if you're somebody who's just trying to go from point A to point B and just, mainline the game, then yeah, maybe it could probably be done in like 12 to 15. Really, that gets you less excited. Yeah, I mean, they have teased this seemingly. They've shown Leon riding in the Porsche quite a bit, and they're really emphasizing this vehicle of his, and it's like, okay, but they haven't announced that you're actually going to be like driving it around the world. They've only shown like one shot of Leon outside in the city, and I think it was showing him like walking down an alleyway and then entering a building, and that's about it. But yes, Leon has a Porsche. How could you not know that? How could you not know that, Gothmog? MBG, what's your most exciting game for the first quarter of 2026? Resident Evil 9, in case you can't tell. Yeah, it's Resident Evil. This is MBG says, I think Grace's character will be like Ashley. I think she's going to have some Ashley tendencies, but the difference is I don't know. She seems like she's going to be more competent in the sense that she's going to actually be more of a fighter. Because they do make it clear in the game that when you're playing as her, like, you can fight. But they did say, though, you know what? They did say she's going to be the biggest scaredy cat. So that's interesting. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how she compares to Ashley. But since you're going to be playing half the game as her, they're going to have to make her more capable. MBG, why do you think PlayStation doesn't make more games in a successful series to grow the game IP more popular like every game company does? Well, they are doing that now. In fact, a lot of people are complaining at Sony for doing that. I kind of get what you're saying. I think you're referring to like some of the older franchises from like the PS2, PS1, 2, and 3 days. But now that's what Sony's doing. And people are like, stop it. No more Horizon. No more no more Last of Us and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Sony's all about growing that IP. Resident Evil 8 was about 10 hours and a bit longer, according to how long it beat. Oh, really? Was it? I could have swore it was longer. I think it really is going to come down to if they have these open world sections and, how big they're actually going to be. And let me see. Okay, so it says Resident Evil 9 is rumored to feature a semi-open world, but not a massive sandbox, using the RE engine for large, interconnected, detailed areas similar to Arkham City or Dragon's Dogma 2, allowing for greater exploration than past entries, but still remaining story-focused with survival elements like dynamic weather and inventory management. This is according to various leaks and reports, though Capcom has not confirmed its openness yet. So it says initial concept. The initial concept for RE9 was initially developed as a massive open world multiplayer game. Reboot and shift. Capcom rebooted the project around 2021, focusing back on single player horror after RE Village's success, but kept Leon as the main character and retained the open world concept in a revised form. Expect a large, dense, curated map with interconnected hubs and optional areas rather than a huge non-linear sandbox. This is what I'm saying, dude. Like, if I'm not mistaken, Dusk Golem was the one who confirmed this. And he's been right about like everything. So if this turns out to be true, which I think it is, this is like a massive aspect to this game that Capcom is still completely hiding. And I kind of noticed that everything they've shown, even with Leon sections, it's all very contained and in small, tight areas that even when I was watching Leon fighting these enemies, I'm like, dude, he's in like a small room, like 7 enemies, which is cool. But I think he's also saying that Claire explores the map on her motorcycle in Code Veronica. Yo, that's crazy. Okay, that's nuts. So I'm not going to lie, this gets me really excited, man, because I think there might be this whole... There actually is that one shot in the trailer, actually, where they show Leon standing on a street with his hatchet and a bunch of, like, dead zombies around him. And I think, like, it's stuff like that that gives us these subtle hints that, like, yeah, he's standing on a street in Raccoon City and you're going to be able to actually just go explore. And, like, that sounds awesome, dude. Like, if that's what ends up being hidden in this game, that's going to be crazy. Wasn't there more gameplay footage released of Leon? We should watch it. I put it in my video and I'm like nervous it's going to get demonetized because it's so violent, dude. It does remind me of Last of Us Part 2, which is the sheer level of violence. It does look really good, though. Saying games that start off as one thing but change to another mid-cycle often end badly. Not always. That's what happened with Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4's development was a nightmare, dude. They had like 3 different versions of that game before they ended up getting the final product that ended up being Resident Evil 4, and look at how that worked out. So I think it's just like anything else. It's a coin flip. Jake, no, I'm sorry, man. I haven't gotten time yet. Bro, Leon in an open world retconning areas as a veteran before approaching is exciting as hell. Chris, you're saying you prefer non-open world for these games. The mission design was already open, though. I mean, yeah, it depends on how it's handled. I'm trying to imagine, like, how this would work. Like, I don't know if when they say open, I imagine it would be more open than RE4 Remake. I mean, in RE4 Remake, they expanded some things too, where there was just like these more open, explorable areas. It could be like that. Might not be as massive as we think or like we're imagining. MBG, do you think PlayStation regrets not making a PlayStation mascot like Mario or Master Chief to make PlayStation a global icon? No, they did do that. They were just late to it. We thought it was Nathan Drake or it could have been Crash Bandicoot. It was none of them. They finally decided on Astrobot. Astrobot is now that mascot. At least that's my understanding. Wide linear. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That's I think that would be the way to probably describe what it's going to be. Wasn't Devil May Cry Resident Evil 4 at one point? Yeah, in its earliest conception. Which is crazy to think. How well did Master Chief work out for Xbox in the end? Yeah, now he's a PlayStation icon. What happened? I'm just happy Ethan Winter's story is done. That RE8 DLC where you play as his daughter with effing superpowers turned me off. So, dude, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I didn't play that either. That's where I'm like, bro, I don't know what's happening, and I don't think I want to know either. I just, yeah, that's tough. You know what they should do? They should just make a hunk game. That's what they should do. Has Capcom ever said something like RE9 is going to be the biggest game ever made? It's a great, good selling point if they haven't said so. It's great, good. I don't expect RE9 will have way more content than RE8. I don't know if they've said that. They probably have somewhere. Yo, Perfect Image, you're saying Spyro was the mascot? If you look back at the village in RE8, it was pretty sizable. It's definitely in the realm of possibility that Capcom can build something bigger with explorable areas. Well, I imagine it would have to be pretty big if you're going to be riding around. That's the thing that really gets me. Because, again, they're putting all this emphasis on this Porsche that he drives. It's like in every time they've shown Leon, like, there's his Porsche, you know? And it's a fast car. So it's like, I mean, how big are these areas? Are we talking, you know? And I wonder, like, if it's going to be, I mean, I don't want to dream too much here, but I've always kind of envisioned like an open world Raccoon City with zombies just like roaming the city, you know? And I wonder if it'll be something like that where when you go back to Raccoon City, there's still like these infected just lingering around. Like I'm just trying to imagine like driving down a street in Raccoon City and there's just like infected on the sidewalk and in the middle of the street and stuff. And I don't know. I don't know if they're going to take it that far. I don't even know if that'll be a thing, but it'd be pretty sick. Chris, you're saying, MBG, did you read that Jeff Keighley is the one who chose to make High Guard the closing game? The developers did not pay for that spot, LMAO. I did read that, and it seems like Jeff Keighley had his Herman Hulst moment. Very strange. Yeah, I I think some people are blowing it a bit out of proportion, like they're making it sound like Jeff lost his mind. I don't think it's that, but common common Jeff L. But I just feel like, yeah, when you learn about that, you look at that game and you think this decision was made in a post Concord world. So, Jeff, what's going on, man? I mean, maybe he just really thought it was cool. Maybe it was a selfish thing. He's like, this game looks great. You think Jeff's been out of touch for years? Yeah, I mean, it's hit or miss with his shows. It really is. Sometimes he has really big stuff and you're like, oh yeah, awesome. Other times it's stuff like this where it's like, what were you thinking? You know? But yeah, there's just no denying that making the conscientious decision to have a game like High Guard be the closer for the biggest gaming event of the year. I don't know. I don't know where you got to be, headspace wise in the games industry to think that that's a good idea on any level. Like, also, just if the other people who maybe knew about it, you know, like maybe warn him, like, don't, that's a bad idea. And the worst part about it is how it really just destroyed the game for the developers, in that, like, I'm not saying High Guard was going to be a success without that reveal, but I think things would have played out differently if High Guard was revealed just randomly in the middle of the show, same trailer and all. I think you still would have had people laughing at it and clowning on it, but it wouldn't have garnered nearly as much attention. And I think because of that, it wouldn't come off as a, like, there are games that I think are just DOA, where it's like, yeah, that game's DOA. And then there are games that they go beyond DOA, where it's like people are now going to make it their mission to make this game fail. And I feel like, unfortunately for High Guard, it being positioned at the end of the Game Awards, that's kind of the position it put itself in, where it's like, your game isn't just DOA anymore. Now there's going to be people who go out of their way to make sure this game is going to get trashed. And that sucks if you're, like, that sucks for the developers if the report is true that they had no say in it. They just gave it to Jeff and Jeff was like, I'll put this last. Like, I don't know. No. Well, Hotshot, you're saying they paid for that slot in the Game Awards. I think the report was from Paul Tassi. He says that after talking to sources, he can confirm that, like, they didn't pay for it. Jeff was the one who decided to put it there. So High Guard will surprise everyone and become the new Fortnite. Who knows? Didn't they stop posting on their social media completely? Like, they just walked away from it. You could make a game about washing dishes and Jeff will be like, a game studio that's always pushing the limits. I spent some time with them in the summer and I'm excited to share with the world. Dude, you're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, Jeff has a way with words like that, He's a good presenter. A game about washing dishes. Goddamn. MBG, Sony has backed off from supporting the studio based in Australia that was making Little Devil Inside. As a result, the game has been shelved. Did that news just come out? I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. That game's been gone, dude. That game's been MIA. Am I lagging? Hopefully not. It says everything's good on my end. 38 minutes ago, the PC market is set to shrink up to high single-digit percentage due to memory shortage in 2026. NVIDIA Intel partnership is not for gaming, but for server AI. PC World interviewed a technology industry analyst and revealed some interesting points. Number one, NVIDIA and Intel are partnering up for server AI because customers want x86. This is bad for ARM because it takes away share that used to be maintained by NVIDIA's ARM server CPU. Number two, the partnership was not done for gaming because gaming and laptops are not NVIDIA's priority, and they already control laptop gaming through their discrete graphics. Number three, the analyst heard that another reason for the lack of interest in gaming products is the decline of the PC market by up to high single-digit percentage due to memory shortage in 2026. Chip manufacturers are less interested in launching new products for PC because that is a declining market in the short run. Asus is going all in on AI. Conclusion: PC market is about to suffer a major decline. Do not expect Intel to launch products with big NVIDIA integrated graphics for gaming. Manufacturers are all turning to AI to chase the money. Uh-oh. Yikes. Okay, well, that's not good. Are we good? I'm seeing people say that I'm lagging. Did anybody hear anything I just read? Damn. We're good? Okay. So, yeah, geez, what is this gonna mean, man, for the PS6? I don't know. I've been seeing. I asked this question on Twitter. Not that it's a smart place to ask questions, but I was asking if the situation with PC gaming is as bad as it seems, or if it's being greatly exaggerated. Many people responded by saying it's fear mongering and it's being exaggerated. But I'm like, are we sure about that? Because like what I'm seeing here, I don't know, man. It seems like, at least for the short term, nobody really knows what's going to happen in the mid to long term. But for the short term, it seems like it's kind of cooked. And I don't know what this means for I don't know what this means for the PS6, knowing that, I mean, Sony is at kind of the mercy of these component manufacturers. Look at the interview of Jason Schreier yesterday. Very interesting. Where did he do an interview? They're coping. Yeah. No, no, no. It can't be that. Can never be that. A lot of PC heads are leaving Windows 11 to go to Linux. I think Xbox will discount their new Xbox to get 6 boxes into homes. Jeez, man. Sony should manufacture their own RAM. No, I don't know if that's a possibility. There has to be something, like a major reason why they're not. The logistics behind that probably just wouldn't work. Big companies like Sony have contracts for their hardware years in advance usually. They may have secured a price already for their components, but nobody knows 100% for sure. Yeah. I mean, everything we've heard from like Moore's Law is dead, it sounds like Sony's locked in with the APU manufacturing. So my understanding is like they're not going to have a problem with the GPU or the CPU or anything like that. It seems like the problem they may end up having is truly with the RAM. That seems like the one thing that they haven't actually locked in yet, and they might not for a while. PC parts will always be available to the mass consumer, maybe at higher prices though. Hmm. Consoles aren't going away just yet. No, I don't think so. I mean, I've been seeing people are coming out and they're like, "Are you good? What's up, Leo?" People are coming out and they're like, "Oh, the PS6 is going to be $1,200." I'm like, "No, no, it's not." Like, where are these people? It's just it's interesting and kind of comical to me that there are people who think that. Come on, Leo, stop Stop flashing, everybody. Yeah, cat spotted. Cat flashing. People are saying that the Steam box will be $1,000 for an entry level box. Yeah, I mean, that sounds way too high for me as well. But the biggest difference, though, is that Sony, I mean, this is where things get a little bit messy, but Valve will not subsidize their box. They've made that clear. They're not going to do that. Sony might actually be willing to because they might need to. And that, I think, is the biggest difference here, in that Sony may have to eat the cost to a certain degree and make it later on, because if they don't, their entire business model collapses. Michael, what's going on, man? MBG AI companies are loaded with cash, so they're ready to pay more for RAM makers, to RAM makers in bulk purchasing. So the gaming industry will have to suffer. Mr. B says, I have a friend who's been waiting to upgrade his PC for a while now, and he has to wait longer. Meanwhile, modern games are not working on his current rig anymore. Damn. Yeah, that sucks. People cannot fathom that the PS6 will be cheaper than the PS5 Pro, which was a niche product, so of course it costs more. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I think Sony is smart enough to know that if they put the PS6 out for like $700 or $750, it's DOA. If like Sony is smart enough to know that if they do that, their business model is over. The only way they could do that is if they have a backup plan, where it's like we're not relying on the PS6 to be successful. That's okay if it's not. They could have a backup plan, but if they do, I'm not sure what it is. It shouldn't be legal to buy all the RAM before it's even hits the consumer market. We need regulations ASAP. People could fight back. Taxes that are used, these Meta AI centers using up as much electricity as 100K households per day. That's nuts. PC is booty. The Pro would need a significant price cut. Well, the thing is, my understanding with the PS5 Pro is Sony is selling that at a major profit. You know? Like, Sony understands that the only people who are going to buy the Pro are the enthusiasts. And so there's no reason for them to sell it at a break-even point or at a loss, because why? It doesn't benefit them to do that. The people, the only console they would be willing to do that for is the base PS5, because that's the one that they need in people's homes. They don't care if you buy a Pro or not. They really don't. Sony, like there were rumors that Sony was not even going to launch the Pro, so they really don't care if you buy it. The Pro, I think the Pro ended up coming out because of PSSR, because Mark Cerny's like, we're going to need that. We're going to need that data, and we're going to need to start building this in preparation for the next console. But in reality, it's the base PS5 that really matters to Sony. And so if Sony approaches the PlayStation 6 generation with the same mentality that they've approached every generation, which is, this is our new thing and we need it to be successful because it's our entire business model, then yeah, there's no chance the PS6 comes out at $750. Unless Sony is stupid. If they want to do that, if they want to kill their business model, they can do that. But again, the only reason they would be okay with that is if they have a backup. The backup plan could simply be, maybe we make the PS5 the main console still, and the PS6 is basically like a souped up PS5 Pro. That to me seems impossible, considering they have a PS6 handheld in development and they're going to be using RDNA 5 based technology. So that just doesn't seem possible to me. Sony's in a precarious position. Not saying they're in a bad position. A lot of people believe Sony's in a bad position. They might be. But it might work out fine for them. It's just they're in a precarious position where they have certain decisions that they have to make that we don't know what those decisions are yet. And those decisions will 100% determine the viability of the next generation, right? If it's more than $600, it's not outselling the PS5, which Sony wants to do. They want to get people to switch from the PS4. Well, yeah, that's the whole thing is, it's like I said, Sony, they need people. Well, it's not just the hardware per se. And by that, I mean the new hardware. Like, for example, it could be seen for Sony. Well, it's a tough one, man. It's a really tough one. This is probably why Sony's so quiet these days. On one hand, it's like Sony could say, all right, the most important thing is MAUs, right? Getting people in the ecosystem. Knowing that the only way we get people in our ecosystem is selling hardware. But if that was truly how Sony operated, then the PS4 would still be sold by them aggressively, where it's like, go buy a PS4 for $200. We don't care. We just want you in the ecosystem. That's not how Sony operates. They're not doing that. They're like, no, we want to discontinue the PS4. We want you to come to PS5. They want you to upgrade. Sony may have no choice but to change their mentality on that going into the PS6, where it'll be a really tough line to walk, but it could be that they're like, well, we want you to upgrade to the PS6, but we understand it's not feasible for a lot of people right now. So we're completely okay if you buy a PS5 instead. I don't know how they would communicate that, but they would also have to communicate that to shareholders. And you have to understand, everybody who's a shareholder for PlayStation or at Sony, especially with the gaming side of things, they have a certain expectation with Sony's business model. And, Sony doesn't want to lose that, but they're just faced with certain, the same reality that every other company's faced with right now. So Sony's in a really, really interesting position. We have Rich Rod with another $2 chat. Thank you, Rich. He says Capcom allowed one more game after Resident Evil to release on Xbox. If they continue, they deserve the same fate as THQ and Acclaim. Dead or weak comeback. Fruit Nugs. Well, Rich, I asked you to comment on Resident Evil, and I guess you did. Rich. Thank you. It's not exactly what I was hoping for, but I'll take what I can get. Thank you, man. The PS5 will see a price cut the year before the 6 launches, or right when it does. Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know, because you have to realize that the reason why the PS5 hasn't seen a price cut by now, even though it should have, is because it's not any cheaper to manufacture the PS5. It's actually probably more expensive to manufacture it than it was a couple years ago, or the same price. It just didn't go down. And this is where, I don't know, man. We're in very uncertain times in the gaming industry, in the tech industry, in the hardware industry. Things could drastically change in the next 12 months, but they could change for the worse. They could change for the better. But if they change for the worse, we have to think about, like, the thing that I would like to know with Sony is how far they're willing to go to make sure their hardware sells. We know that with Hiroki Totoki being the CEO of Sony, Hiroki Totoki's main focus is, MAUs and monthly active users and just getting people into the ecosystem. Not too dissimilar from Microsoft, and even Nintendo's starting to get more on that side. Everybody's embracing that. But my question is, like, My question for Sony is if the way in which you've done that is now bottlenecked, not by your it's not your fault. It's just the hand you're dealt like everybody else. And it just so happens that this hand you're dealt, yeah, it has bottlenecked your hardware, your hardware based business model. My question is, what else does Sony do? That to me is the more interesting question, that surely they have some kind of plan, because I can't imagine, with how important the PlayStation brand is and how much money it makes them, I can't imagine that they don't have backup plans in place. But the backup plans that I can think of are things that I don't know would work. Like I'm not sure how I don't even know that I trust Sony in executing them. So like, doomsday scenario for PlayStation and their business model is the PS6. I don't say it flops, but it's like, this isn't working the way we thought. It's really, really slow out of the gate. People are staying on PS5s. People are not moving, people are becoming much more fickle with what they want to buy and what they don't want to engage with. I feel like there's basically two options that Sony has at that point. Option number one is they're going to have to like basically accept that the PS5 is for for probably years, it's going to have to be their main. I know that sounds crazy to say with the PS, but again, this is like Sony's in a bad spot. They're just be like, yeah, the PS5 is going to have to be part of the PS6 family. In other words, because we need that now. The only other alternative, again, this is if things continue to go the direction they're going in. The only other alternative is to basically say, okay, we're going to bring PlayStation to you. And I think we all have an idea of what that looks like. That looks like Sony literally taking the PlayStation ecosystem that currently is only available on the PS5 console, the UI, the PlayStation Store, everything that goes along with it, and saying, we are now going to put this on every device, similar to what Microsoft has done. My question is, will that work? And I would hedge a bet that no, it wouldn't. And the reason I say this is because, well, it's not that I don't think, I think PlayStation is very desirable, just like, many other places are, but they open up a whole new can of worms by doing that, where it's not working for Microsoft, but think about one of the biggest reasons it's not working for Microsoft. One of the biggest reasons it's not working for Microsoft is because now they made Steam a competitor, technically. And they realized, like, okay, well, we can't even view Steam as a competitor anymore, because we're nowhere near that. And I'm not saying that Steam would prevent PlayStation from potentially finding success, but it's not as simple as it seems. It's not as simple as it seems, where Sony is not just going to suddenly have 10 million more users if they take the PlayStation ecosystem and distribute it across every single screen and device. That's not what's going to happen. At least in my opinion, I feel very strongly about that, because the whole point of this, and when you look at Microsoft as the one who decided to do it first, one of the main reasons it's not working for Microsoft, putting Steam aside and just that newfound competition, you're trying to appeal to people who already decided they don't want to come to you. You know what I mean? So you're trying to, you're now trying, like, it's a sign of desperation. It is, and I'm not saying it's bad for the consumer. It's not bad for the consumer. If anything, it's good for the consumer. But it's only being done to try to appeal to the person who already decided, I'm not interested in what you have. And they're like, okay, well, what if we just bring it to your house? Are you interested then? And the sad truth for most people is they're still not going to be interested. And I mean, that, that speaks to like, that's like that almost delves into a larger conversation about human psychology and why that is. But I think it might just simply be that, you know, uh, people want to be wowed and they want to feel like one of the things that people don't, I think that they underestimate with these console manufacturers. Microsoft did this as well with like the 360 and the original Xbox. Is they try to make you feel like, I know it sounds cringe, but like special, like, oh, like you're super valued, man. Like we're gonna bend over backwards and make this the best place to play. Um, and that was kind of needed, you know what I mean, to convince people like this is why you're gonna want to consider us over them. And whether that be through like exclusives or certain features, or whatever. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure what else Sony could do at this point, man. The devil's in the details of player demographics. I bet 50 to 70% of console players are normies who wouldn't ever follow PlayStation on other platforms. They just want to buy a box. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like I really think, I'm gonna be honest, man. I think the only real solution for Sony, if like again, we're talking like doomsday scenario here, just to be clear. Nobody really knows what's gonna happen. I have no idea. But we're just assuming the worst in that hardware is collapsing. Like it is collapsing now. Hardware is collapsing. Assuming that it doesn't get better, it gets worse. It just continues. And by the year 2027, 2028, it's just like, oh my God, dude. It's like, what's happening? Everything's on fire. I think the only real chance Sony has is you have to cut the price of the PS5 in the name of you need to make this the box. You have to. You know what I'm saying? Like it won't, because for people like us, we'll be like, whoa, 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 Sony, what are you doing? I thought we were moving on to the next gen. What are we doing? For us, I don't know what that sound was I just made. For us, that matters, right? Because it's like, well, I've been here the whole gen. I'm ready for the next gen. But from Sony's perspective, if it's just like, listen, man, we love your enthusiasm and we still want you to buy a PS6, the normies, right? Like the casuals are not going to do it. And that means we're going to cap out. We're going to cap out at like 10, maybe 20 million sales from the hardcore PlayStation fans. And after that, we're going to hit a fucking wall. What does that sound like? Right? What does that sound like? But the thing is, think about it. Okay, we hit that doomsday scenario. Sony, what's going well for you though? The thing that's going well for them by that point is we have over 100 million PS5 sold. Telling you, it'll be a drastic times call for drastic measures. I think if the doomsday scenario plays out the way that we're thinking it might, the bubble doesn't pop, or it doesn't pop nearly as fast as people think, I think Sony's going to have no choice but to say, listen, the PS5 being the outlier is all we have. And that what that looks like. So just to be clear, what that would look like, and maybe I would get fired from Sony if I was ever in a boardroom, pitching this plan. What that would look like is we are dropping the price of the PS5 to $250. The Pro, we're not talking about the Pro. The Pro can remain however much it is. The base PS5, we're dropping it to $250. And that's so when people look around, people who want to buy into playing video games, they look at Xbox and realize that's non-existent, or, the prices are just ridiculous. They look at Switch and they think, well, okay, that's not too expensive, but it's also not like a premium home console. You know what I mean? It's a hybrid. Then you will have the de facto, here's the PS5, and it's way cheaper than everything else out there. It'll be like the most affordable box. And, for people like us, like I said, that's going to be like what's happening why is Sony extending the PS5 generation even after the PS6 came out? But I think it's because I think they'll have no choice. I think that's the only way, man. That's the only way. I think that would be more effective than trying to bring PlayStation to everybody else, because I'm just trying to imagine, like, okay, what happens if Sony says, guys, we're going to launch a PlayStation app, or like we're updating the PlayStation app, and the PlayStation app that's on Android, that's on iOS, that we're going to release it on Windows PC. You open that app and you've just turned your device into a PlayStation. I think on paper that sounds like a better idea, but in practice, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know why, but I guess maybe it is because I've seen what happened with Xbox. I'm like, it didn't work for them. Why would it work for Sony? But think of this. Here's a question I have for you, right? Like, what would things look like for Xbox sales right now if Microsoft came out and said the Series X is $250? I'm a serious question. Like, keep in mind the Series X is like almost $700 right now. It's like $650 or some crazy shit. Imagine if they came out and they said, we're dropping the price permanently for the Series X. It's $250. I think people would be going out and buying them right now, exclusives or not. If they would do it, they would do it literally just because of the price, because it's like, holy shit, that's like the cheapest hardware out here. That's crazy. That's like cheaper than everybody else. I'm just saying it's about human psychology, man, where I just feel like maybe I'm totally wrong, but I feel like for some reason that would be more effective than them being like, don't you want to download the Xbox app on your Windows PC and boot it up and make your PC an Xbox? It's like, I don't know. I feel like people are like, no, I'd rather, damn, like a Series X for $250. That's a steal, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong about this, but you'd buy it just to collect it in the box. If you think prices are high now, it's going to get worse before it gets better. RAM prices are high now, and just to start, all these servers run on GPUs and CPUs, and the shortage will start for those. Oh, geez. Maybe, yeah, okay. You know what? Maybe the actual doomsday scenario is, guys, cloud gaming. I don't know, man. I'm just thinking, like, the way things are going right now, it seems so bad. And maybe it's over exaggerated. Things usually are. But it's just fascinating to me. I did not think that. I thought for sure that, the problem that Sony ran into with the PS5, I thought for sure that like, it couldn't get worse than that. And here we are. It's like, bro, it's looking like this time it's actually going to be worse. And I'm like, how is that possible, man? You're saying he's wrong. A GPU shortage is over. These companies bought way too many GPUs, and now there's an abundance of them. Yeah, I haven't really been hearing too much about the GPU side of things. I guess it's just it feels uncertain because it feels like all of this is kind of dictated by these few, the few companies at the top that are basically making the decision that AI comes first. Compute power, servers, the components that go into all of this, that gets the priority. Haven't we heard that a GPU shortage is just about to get started? Let me ask AI. Let me see. Is a GPU shortage about to happen? AI says, yes, we're taking all of your GPUs. No, AI says, the AI overview says, yes, a new GPU shortage is expected to start by early 2026, driven by NVIDIA facing significant memory supply cuts, potentially 30 to 40%, due to surging demand for AI chips, prioritizing HBM and DDR memory over GDDR for gaming cards. This will likely lead to higher prices, fewer available cards, especially RTX 50 series, and potential scalping, with some experts warning this crunch could last longer than the pandemic-era shortage. Oh, fascinating. Okay. Longer. But if, yeah, but for Sony, I don't know. You know what Sony's gonna have to do? I figured it out. Sony's gonna have to start remanufacturing the PS4. Yeah, I think that's the solution. We're gonna regress, actually. PS4, PS5, they're cancel. They're gonna Sony. I think I know what's gonna happen. Sony's gonna have to cancel the PS6 and basically say, guys, we're gonna resell the PS4 again, and instead we're just gonna rename. It's gonna be called the PS5 Lite, the PS5S, and now it's just gonna be, you know, now it's just gonna be one family of PS5 devices. PS6 will come out in like 2036 or some shit. We're just like canceling it. We're redoing everything. Dude, that sounds crazy, but my God, like they wouldn't resell the PS4, obviously, but I don't know. This is unprecedented for Sony. You know, they've run into a lot of issues with their hardware pipeline, but I don't know, man. At what point does this break Sony's business model? Super black pill BG. We're going back. PS4 remanufactured, make it white, and call it the PS5S. There we go. $200. But what about games like Spider-Man 2? We got Insomniac working on a PS5S version right now. Oh man. I don't know. It sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Like it sucks. It sucks to see this because it's just so unexciting and uninteresting, and it just always feels like there's some kind of bullshit going on. I don't know what Sony's gonna do. You know, I mean, again, at what point do they realize, like, not realize, but at what point does it become clear that this isn't getting better and this is now going to break your business model? I don't know. I just wonder how desperate Sony would get. Sony are in a good position. They have sold a good number of PS5s. Realistically, only need to sell 30 million more and stretch it. It would be worse if it was the beginning of the generation. Oh, I agree. So, like, yeah, the biggest asset that the biggest win, I guess you could say, that the PlayStation 5 or that PlayStation as a business has right now is that massive install base. And it's like you're saying, like, the idea of stretching that out more and like we got to try to really push more PS5s. This is why when we talk about a PS6 delay, all right. Let me simplify it. Maybe I got to look at this from another angle. What if I love how I had Marathon in the title. I'm not even fucking talking about it. Like, so fucking who's talking about Marathon? I don't care about Marathon. No, I'm just kidding. I do wonder if maybe this could be a much more uh a much more simple situation than what I'm making it sound, where maybe Sony will just simply plan for a weaker PS6 launch. And like they'll just have to accept that, well, our plans are locked in. We like the lesser of two evils here, so to speak, for our business is just committing to what we've already locked in, knowing it's going to be rough for maybe the first 2 years. Maybe that's what they'll be prepared for, where they're going to have 2 years of struggle where the price of the PS6 will be too high, the uptake will be way less, and cross-gen is, most people, like the overwhelming majority of people are like, yeah, I'm not moving. And they'll just have to push through that until this, because it's not going to stay like this forever. That's the important thing. As far as we're aware, my understanding is that the prices of these things are going to go back to normal once the demand relaxes and once all these data centers are built and stuff like that. The problem seems to be the timeline, similar to kind of the pandemic, where like people didn't know how long the component shortage, like, is this going to be like a year? Is this going to be 3 years? Is this going to be the whole gen? And, it turned out to be about maybe 2.5 years, give or take. It could be a situation like that, where it's just like, all right, well, Yeah, the PS6 is going to have to launch in a time where there's component scarcity, and we have to sell it at a higher price point. And then once that ends, we will, like, Sony could always do like a soft relaunch of the PS6. You know, let's just envision a scenario next year. Sony announces the PS6. They got a good lineup. People are stoked. Then they announce the price. Let's say Sony does launch the PS6 at like 750 or some shit. Just some crazy, even $700. They launch the PS6 at $700. From that point forward, it becomes clear that, oh man, like this is a PS3 all over again. You know, like it's going to be rough. And 2027, you know, it launches in holiday 2027. 2028 goes by. 2029 goes by. Nothing changes. PS6 sales are low. You keep seeing reports about how it's struggling to keep up with the, you know, it's nowhere near what the PS5 and PS4 were doing. Sony's trying their best to, you know, not lose more shareholders. But then 2030 rolls around, and, you know, everything, the component issue, the RAM issue, everything's fine now. They come out, they do a big showcase, they show a bunch of games, and they announce that the PS5 is now going to be sold at, or sorry, the PS6 is going to be sold for $500. And then boom, it's like, there you go. There's the soft relaunch. Now everybody's going to upgrade, and it just turns it around completely. We've seen that. We've literally seen that with the PS3. So it has been done before. And the thing is, Sony was doing that on the fly. That was not anticipated. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, the PS6 could, in a sense, emulate the PS3, except rather than Sony shitting the bed and having a bad PS3 reveal and saying stupid things to make people say and not having a good lineup, instead it'll just simply be, it's kind of unaffordable for a lot of people. You know? I don't know. It's just I'm just speculating, obviously. Just speculating. Uh MBG, I hate to say I'm in bad shape. I have hypogonadism, low T and high estrogen, and I broke 2 toes. Low T is something every man should consider and get checked. It explains so much for my mood. Mr. Veggie, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hypogonadism, that doesn't sound real. I So it is real. Hypogonadism is a condition where the body's sex glands produce few or no sex hormones, leading to symptoms like low libido, infertility, fatigue, and bone/muscle loss stemming from issues with the gonads or the brain. Treatment involves hormone replacement therapy to alleviate symptoms. I don't mean to laugh. It's just that well, first off, that sucks. But the name of that condition sounds crazy. Right? Like we could all agree. Like, that sounds like a made up condition, hypogonadism. I'm not going to lie, it's actually kind of awesome. It sucks for what it is, but the name is crazy. I'm canceled. Damn. No, that I will say though, like, it breaking multiple toes and finding out that's what caused it, that's crazy, dude. But yeah, I would assume that you're gonna have to go on. You feel like shit. Yeah, I mean, dude, that sounds rough. I'm not gonna lie. Well, hopefully you can get it treated though. You know, we'll get you on that high test. Things will turn around. I'm not laughing at bro's pain. I feel for bro. I feel for Mr. Veggie. I'm sorry, Mr. Veggie. I'm sorry. Damn, he says, I'm not trolling. It's been hell. My cousin had it and he's better now. Game day men's health is my best option. Shit. Well, you know what? If anything, we should spread awareness at this point. Guys, if you're, I don't know, what are some of the symptoms? I mean, it's saying like, yeah, I mean, I know when you have like low tests, it can make you feel not great, but this sounds like a next level. Reduced muscle mass, fatigue, hot flashes, infertility. Oh shit. General mood changes, depression, energy loss. Yo, I might have to go get checked at this point. Damn. Wait, why is Chris saying I have to admit Game Pass is fun? MBG, okay, new rule. If you're going to get on here depressing everybody with your problems, drop 50 memberships. I'm going to drop 50 memberships. You have to hear me out. Nah, that's rough, man. Well, I hope you get better soon, Mr. Veggie. I hope you get better soon. That sounds like a pretty shitty thing to be going through. Lady Games, you're saying I have a mental health checkup on Tuesday and I've been struggling and stressed out. Well, I hope it goes well. Hang in there. Try your best. Don't go to an endo or urologist. Go to I don't know what that word is. Huh. Well, it sounds like for you, it's like genetic, right? So I guess it could be like a genetic thing. You think he's trolling? I doubt it. Yeah, I don't. I mean, dude, I would hope it's not a troll. I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't know why somebody would troll about that. That'd be a crazy troll. Like, I would still believe the troll. I'd be like, I still believe you. Could it be the amount of estrogen in the water supply? Yo, now you're telling me there's estrogen in the water supply? Yo, I got Chris Brown with a laughing emoji and then Ghetto God with a crying emoji underneath. What are we even talking about here? Get your test levels checked. Make sure everything's good. That's what we're talking about. All right? Got to make sure your hormonal health is good. Wait, MRPD, I don't know what you're saying. MRPD, I don't even think I saw what you said. Dude, MRPD, you're not lying though. You're saying we have microplastics in our in places in our body. I think that's true. Like, I don't think what you're saying is crazy. I think it's been proven to be true, unfortunately. Like, that's a real thing that we've been discovering, that all this plastic that we've exposed ourselves to, we just like are putting microplastics inside of our body. How does this relate to the PlayStation 6? New marketing for Sony. Don't worry about those microplastics. Play your PS6 instead. Like, let the PS6 take your mind off of those microplastics entering your brain. Jeez. No, it's all good, Mr. Veggie. I hope you get better soon, man. Yeah, we were talking about the PS6. Wait until the kidney stones start. Oh my god. Oh, you thought that was calcium? What are we doing? American food is healthy. Who doesn't like burgers made out of rubber? You're saying men's health honestly needs to be taken more seriously. Yeah, I mean that's probably true for a wide range of things, man. These days. These days, dude, everybody's it's all about doom scrolling and brain rot and destroying your brain. You know? That's the big thing I see. So, oh, we're just piling on the good news today. PlayStation Pete says I have to pay my ex 20 grand and $1,000 a month. Guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go. I gotta get a drink. Like, I can't. PlayStation Pete, that sucks, bro. Shit. Alimony. Gothmog says that's not bad. Well, PlayStation Pete. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully you got that. Hang in there. Yeah. I'm with MRPD. Hang in there, Pete. You've been hanging in there. All right, Mr. Veggie. Now I know this has to be a troll. This has to be a troll. He says Neil Druckmann probably has good tea. He has a full beard and is pretty muscular. Yo, I think Mr. Veggie's secretly Neil Druckmann. Who would say that about Neil Druckmann? Who would willingly say that about Neil Druckmann? So randomly. You're dead serious. Oh, I bet you are. I bet you are, Mr. Druckmann. All right. Well, guys, where do we even go from here? What did I have lined up for the topic? What did I say? Marathon is winning. Is Marathon winning players over? No, it's not. Next, God of War TV series. Hope it's good. Next. Oh man. Hypogonadism tanks your motivation. Bro's gonna gaslight me into thinking I have hypogonadism. That I'm gonna leave this podcast today thinking that's what I have. Get out of my head, man. Marathon is definitely a cop. I have $400 in PS gift cards, so I'm debating which games to pick up. Damn, $400, bro. Why didn't I audition for Kratos? I wouldn't be able to. No, I wouldn't be the right one. Wow. He says, well, at least I will be divorced. It's finally over. That's what PlayStation Pete says. True. Well, yeah, it's a good way of looking at it. Hey, Irfin, what's up, man? He says, EBG, hello. Sorry for disappearing so suddenly. I lost the internet for a full week, and it took until today to get reconnected. It was the longest period of my life I've lived without the internet. Holy shit. Yeah, we were worried about you, Irfin. I'm not going to lie. At some point, we were like, did Irfin die? I know that's dark, but we're just concerned, you know? I made a Discord, by the way, Irfan. All right, it's linked above in the pinned pinned message. You have a manly voice, MBG. You could be Kratos. Do a Kratos impression, bro. All right, here we go. Ready? Boy. It's pretty good. What do you think? I think it was pretty good. I'm waiting on a background check. I know, dude. I don't think I would be the right person to play Kratos live action, but voice, I think I get the voice down. Rudy says nobody was worried about me. Rudy, we just assumed you were busy playing Concord on a private server or something. Be better, MBG. I have a micro Kratos voice. Micro Kratos. Oh my god. Stuff like gum is full of microplastic. Wait, is that true, Whiskey? Gum? Just like chewing gum? What? That's scary. Because that's like literally that it's designed to be chewed. Jeff Bezos predicts the end of gaming PC ownership. Uh-oh. Here we go. Here's some more nonsense. It's MBG, I spent most of the past few days reading books, which I hadn't done in years. What happened while I was gone? Pretty much nothing. Irfan, that's the saddest part. Pretty much not. You didn't miss much. Gaming news has been in the toilet, bro. I'm gonna be honest, especially for PlayStation. There's like nothing. Like dude, before you came in, we were talking about the PS6 again. Somehow, which I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, but gaming news is so dire right now. Jeff Bezos says at the New York Times Deal Book Summit, Bezos argued that home computers sit idle most of the time, making centralized cloud servers more efficient amid rising AI demands. Gamers pushed back hard, citing input lag that ruins fast-paced games, the flop of Google Stadia in 2023, and the joys of ownership like mods and offline play, while cloud gaming services grow fast towards a $20 billion market. But oh my God, see? Told you. It's happening. It's happening, bro. Marathon in Crimson Desert. Dude, it's I don't know what the hell, like what? I don't even know. What are we going to do? MBG, did you complete the rest of the Astrobot levels? I do that and play another short backlog game before R9. I did actually, Will. I have a members lounge from last year, I think, where I finished the final levels. It took me like 2 hours. It was really difficult. You only know about the Ryan Hurst news. I think that was pretty much it, dude. I'm not even kidding. Like, was there anything significant PlayStation news-wise that happened this last week? I mean, truly significant? I don't think so. I mean, like, they released a new Marathon video, but no. All right. You're going to wait for Crimson Desert reviews to come out before you decide to make a purchase? Looks way too big to not be buggy. Well, yeah, dude, the thing that always really throws me off with Crimson Desert is I'm like, oh, wait, it's a single-player game. And I know it's because the previous game they made is like an MMO or whatever, but even just the look of the game, I'm like, this doesn't look like a single-player game. And the fact that it is kind of awesome. I'm like, that's sick. Like this game looks so massive, but yeah, I get what you're saying. You do got to wonder if it's going to come in ultra polished or not. He says someone drop some memberships for this, man. It's been slow going, man. We've got 0 members. Hey, it's cool. It's cool. I'd always tell you guys, if you support if you want to support, help out if you want to help out. It's not a big deal. Times are tough for people, I get it. I get it. You pre-ordered Crimson Desert? Well, you're saying didn't Crimson Desert release a while ago? No, you're thinking of what? It's Black Desert, I think. Black Desert Online. I'm pretty sure. Ain't no way Ghetto God clipped MBG saying Game Pass is fun on the Discord. Great. Great. Another source of clipping. Amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to see what else you guys come up with. PlayStation Pete says working on Miniature Gaiden 2 Black Platinum. Miniature Gaiden 2. Never heard of that one. No, good luck with that one, dude. That one's really hard, isn't it? PlayStation Pete, I know you're serious about your platinums, bro. I respect it. You're unsure about Crimson Desert, especially the story? Yeah, I feel like this game, I don't know really what to think of it. There's a ton of hype for it. I feel like it's either going to be one of these games that's like, holy shit, this is a 10 out of 10. Like, it's everything they said it would be. Or it's a game that is like way over promising, where it's like, we could do all this and do all that. I know, PlayStation Pete. You're saying Ninja Gaiden. You're saying Papa John's wants you back in April to your old job. Yo, Papa John's. I like Papa John's. It's been a while since I had Papa John's. I've always liked Papa John's. Crazy what happened with that guy, though. Is that like not one of the craziest things ever? Cyberpunk previews were pretty good too before the whole thing dropped. True. Oh, I think Whiskey Gaming's. I think you might be watching on a slight delay. Whiskey, if you hear this, I think you're on a little delay. He says, because he's talking about the gum being filled with microplastics, he says that's why I switched to mints instead of gum. There was a study that tested all the leading brands, and they all had a ton. That's disturbing, dude. Like, that's actually genuinely disturbing. You think gum, of all things, would be safe? Wait, Rich, what do you mean you can't chat on the Discord? Hold on. Rich, why are you saying you can't chat on the Discord? You're welcome to the Discord. Hold on, let me see what's going on here. Oh wow, Rich Rod, you say if you did not disown me, the MB gangsters would be dropping memberships. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, sure. You don't have permission. Yes, you do. Rich Rod, what the fuck are you talking about? Rich Rod, stop gaslighting me. Listen, Rich, the link is pinned. Click on it and join. There's no restriction. Well, there's restrictions in a sense, Rich Rod. It says I don't on Discord. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I'm in, but I don't have permission. Gaming Survivor says how PC and Xbox bootlickers are defending and sucking up to microslop despite their most anti-consumer BS ever. Microslop is destroying the gaming industry. What are you going to do, Gaming Survivor, you know? I see some of the weirdest shit out there, and I've just gotten used to it. You know? It like hardly phases me anymore. I see the dumbest shit, and I just accept. I accept, like, yes. This is it. There's nothing I can do about this. People are going to be as they want to be. You know what the funniest thing to me though is like there's still so many people where I don't care, dude, because I'm not I play PlayStation, you know, I enjoy it for what it is. But I see people, they have like this weird fixation, and I get it because it exists everywhere. But because it exists everywhere, I happen to play on PlayStation. There's this weird fixation of like people who just they can't like they want to like hyper focus on PlayStation and like the PlayStation fan base and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, I guess like it's ironic because I feel like at this point in time, man, there's enough shit to go around for everybody. I'm gonna be honest. Like there's so much shit hitting the fan across the board that it's like, I guess just take your pick. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, you're saying the PC clowns talked a big game about being pro consumer yet folded like a house of cards in 2026. Dude, I put out this post. I put out this post. I said, is the situation with PC gaming really as dire as it seems? I said, everything I've seen makes it sound like it has completely collapsed. Somebody says dire, LOL. I'm looking for the upvoted comments here because there were a couple. Somebody says PC gaming is doing fine. It's just the hardware side that's messy. Steam numbers keep climbing and the games aren't going anywhere. Not for those who already own a PC. I got more replies on this than I expected. It says not even close. There are many millions of people with PCs already. The discourse online is a bunch of armchair analysts that just say, trust me, bro. Steam hit its highest concurrent player count recently. PC gaming is healthier than ever. Another person says Steam is setting records with concurrent users. MAU have risen from 131 million to 185. It's set to earn 46 billion in revenue this year. That's 2 billion short of all console revenue combined. I'd say PC gaming is the strongest it's ever been. Bro, I'll tell you what, they were quick. They were quick. They were like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. I was just genuinely asking. I don't know, man. Rich Rod says, make me a mod in the Discord at least. Oh, man. Rich. Yo, Gaming Survivor's getting revved up again in the chat. Gaming Survivor's like, fucking PC. These fucking PC Master Race motherfuckers. He's losing it. Bro's roid raging in the chat. Who mentioned PC gaming again? Who did it? Somebody triggered this man. If you don't have to upgrade in the next 3 years, you're fine. Oh, damn. Nick. Bro. Nick. Yikes. The ironic thing is, MBG, is the more men are expected to be worker drones, soldiers, or invincible, the more it takes your tea from you. Damn, Mr. Veggie. Displeased at the lack of membership. Boss is displeased. I don't even know where he is. All I know is I won't be getting a gaming PC anytime soon. PC gamers piss me off for real, though. They talk like you're a slave or something. Yeah, bro. I'm in those shackles. I mean, I kind of am a slave to platinums, though. To the trophy hunting. Where's their pro consumer energy now? Well, I mean, look, man, I've been I've been following this stuff for a long time, bro. And I can tell you right now, the hypocrisy is it's never ending, you know? The hypocrisy is never ending where at the end of the day, people with any kind of, I don't want to say it's not fair to say it's universal. That's unfair. Not everybody does it. Not everybody partakes in it. That's totally unfair to even insinuate. But there are absolutely people where they just chase the trends, man. They just whatever the flavor of the fucking day is, they'll chase it and they'll say what needs to be said. They'll run with the narratives that are most popular to, the people who are just chronically online, always finding the next thing to kind of shit on or doom about. It's all about the doom. They say the doom scrolling, but it makes its way everywhere, man, where it's just sad because it's like, all right, I mean, I'm not saying things aren't bad. I'm not saying there aren't problems, but I just feel like sometimes the way some people engage with it, they make it seem like it's like, let's just face it. Let's just call it what it is. Like, there's a lot of fucking arrogant dickheads out there. Like, that's what it is. It's just arrogant people who think that they know exactly what's right. And to be honest, like, there's nothing wrong with having your convictions. There's nothing wrong with having your opinions and your beliefs on things, but it's always the same type of person, man. I've noticed that. It's always the same type of person. They're like different people, but they're all the same. Where it's like, let me aggressively tell you why this is better than that, or why I'm better than you, or you know what I mean? And it's just like, God, it's so fucking annoying. Like, don't people realize that, like, the more you do that, the more insecure you sound. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the shit that you talk about was so good, or you're so right about what you're saying, then why do you need to be this way about it? Because it just comes off as a massive overcompensation. Yeah, like it's that's what gets annoying to me, where it's like, not that people do it, because I know people are going to do that. People are who they are. But that people don't see through it. Like, do you not realize that this person is probably the most insecure one here? The loudest people in the room, the most obnoxious people in the room, they're usually the weakest. That's why they have to greatly overcompensate. But it's always been that way, I suppose. And it'll likely always be that way. But when we talk about these different spaces where people converge to have a discourse of some kind regarding video games, it's just a reflection of the way it's always been in all other areas. We're like, yeah, you absolutely see that. You see it all the time. It's why, like, listen, man, I'm a PlayStation fan and I thoroughly enjoy PlayStation, but I am not the person, and I really don't agree with people out there where, like, I'll give you an example. If somebody says, I think PlayStation is the best gaming platform and it's where I enjoy playing the most because I just like what they do. I think that they do. I think trophies are the best, or I think, their storefront is nice, or whatever, or like the controller, whatever the reason is. And that's what they say. It's like, okay. Like that I have no problem with that. That doesn't bother. Just like if somebody said that about Xbox or about Nintendo or whatever, man, or PC. But it's like if somebody comes in and says PlayStation is the best and shits on everything else. And PlayStation, nothing can... when they come up with that Chad Warden energy. How is that not... Why don't I have that as a soundbite? But like people who do that across any platform, like people who are like that with Xbox or PC, it's fucking annoying. It's like you can think, you can have your thoughts on like, oh, this is so much better than that. But really, it's like, just look at the way you convey yourself, you know? And I've learned as well. I used to be kind of like that, but I realize it's just kind of obnoxious where it's just like we're just gonna look down upon and laugh at the people who don't agree with us. It's like, okay. Like that kind of sounds like something, doesn't it? Does that remind you of something? Hmm. You bailed on Facebook, Instagram, and Snap. Oh yeah. Social media can be awful. Eat it, console gamers. Oh my god. Gaming Survivor, that's brutal. Well, yeah, but that's the thing, Gaming Survivor. Like, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, and it's like, fuck them. It's something. It's like, I'm not even a little bit surprised, bro. Like, oh man, who could have seen that coming? That's like the saying goes: the pride comes before the fall, man. That saying doesn't just come from nothing. It's because it's true. It's because people who conduct themselves that way, you know, it's just, what are you really setting yourself up for? I mean, really, what are we doing here? And you see it, it's so prevalent today. People don't learn, man. Like, it goes well beyond gaming. You just see this shit and it's like, man, you really do think you're God, don't you? Or maybe not God, but you really don't see the train that's coming your way. You really don't see it. You don't see the storm that's brewing. You don't? No, okay. Well, all right. You live and you learn. Sometimes people got to learn the hard way. And that's, again, that's just been a common occurrence throughout all of life. Yeah, I'm a Yodo. You get it, bro. Bro, Will, that's still a thing? That's funny to me. That's funny to me. I thought that was like left back in 2024. I'll be honest. But yeah, I guess some people are going to hold on to things. MBG, I rebought the Metro series on Steam, playing them at ultra settings, 60 FPS on my handheld. My PS versions are stuck at 1080-30. I wish consoles did better with older games. Chris, you're banned. Yeah, well, that's, dude, I was surprised to see it's not the Metro games, but Far Cry. Far Cry got a 60 FPS update for PS5. I'm like, yo, what? Like, Far Cry 3, sorry. That's the important part. Far Cry 3. Like, with how old that game is, who knows? At the rate things are going, maybe you'll get that 60 FPS update for the Metro series yet. Just eating popcorn and enjoying it. Yeah, Far Cry 3 is a classic. The Metro series is good too. I played a little bit of it. It's tough. You're eating pizza? Yeah, I don't know where the Red Dead 2 update is, man. I don't know. Can't tell you. Well, I mean, that I don't know. Like, that's the thing. It's like Gaming Survivor. The thing is, man, like, I see it too, and it is difficult sometimes. Like, I know you get worked up, and sometimes people get annoyed by that, but it's because I get it, man. I do. I get it probably better than anybody. And I just wish there was more that could be done, but there just isn't, because unfortunately, the way things work these days, it extends well beyond gaming, but it definitely occurs in gaming circles, is the way things work today is people, it's all about the hive mind mentality. It's all about the cult like mentality. It's all about the, you know, everybody has to be in alignment, and essentially, to an extent, there has to be a level of delusion that you buy into, or you just agree to partake in. And that's all in the name of, it's like a safe space. And there are absolutely people who have wanted me to create that here on my channel, and I couldn't do that because I'm like, no. Like, unfortunately, I say unfortunately for me, I respect people who are willing to come watch my channel too much to do that. Where it's like, because like, for me, it is a sign of respect. It's like, oh, you want me to tell you what you want to hear? No, I'm not going to do that. I respect you too much to do that. If that means you have to leave, that's okay. But I can't treat my audience like a bunch of, like, there's this kind of fine line that exists in this space. And that fine line I'm referring to is, well, basically how you view and treat your audience, right? A lot of people engage with platforms like YouTube and just streaming in general as if like I'm just gonna let the audience run things. And unfortunately, when like that can be a good thing sometimes, but it can also go haywire really quickly. And usually what ends up happening is the person who does that is at the mercy of their audience. You become, what do they call it? Audience captured. And I've seen that happen so many times. And people think, the thing is, people think they're building towards something successful. You're not. In the long run, you're not. You can find success for a good amount of time doing that, being audience captured, but eventually it's going to burn out because you're going to realize like you're not in control of this anymore. Like you're totally a lapdog to your own creation ultimately. And that's a lot of times that's why people quit, or they move on, or they whatever. But it's just sad to me that like I see this today more than ever, where people have gotten better, I guess you could say, at like just basically saying like, yeah, I know that this probably isn't right, or this is probably not the truest thing, but who cares? The audience is happy. It's like, well, all right. I mean, I guess, I guess, but yeah, everybody's different. Everybody wants to run their shit different. And for me, I don't know, man. I've spent the last 6 years being accused literally on a weekly basis of like, oh, you're just a PlayStation grifter. It's like, no, I'm not. You're going to realize eventually I'm not, because if that was true, I would have, dude, PlayStation, it literally became popular to hate on PlayStation a few years back. Like, it became popular to actually hate on it, like actively, And I'm like, bro, I tried telling you, like if that's what this was, I would have jumped on that bandwagon as well. It became extremely popular for the last like year to shit on Nintendo. I could have done that. I could have done that easily. That would have been so easy because I don't give a fuck about Nintendo, but that's why I didn't, because I'm like, yeah, I don't care. And I'm just saying, man, we see it more than ever where like people are just chasing. They're just chasing, and what it is they're chasing is, well, actually they're not even chasing, they're just following, bro. They're just letting the sometimes the deluded masses decide. Like, this is what we do now. It's like, okay. All right. That's sure. Whatever, man. But that's why I always encourage people when they come in here. I know it's tough because, people do have strong opinions, and I try to welcome that. My big thing is I try to tell people, like, listen, you'll know if this changes. You will know. Trust me, you'll know. There will be a complete tone shift on my channel And I'm not saying I'm planning on doing it. I'm not. I'm just saying the day may come where I just say, fuck it, I don't care anymore. I'm susceptible to that. I am a human being. And I understand that for a lot of people, that's what happens, is they're just like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. And they stop taking it seriously. And if that day ever comes, you'll see a tone shift on my channel. And it will be, yeah, we'll be fucking, I will cater. This will be treated purely as a means to generate as much attention and as much revenue as I possibly can. You know? And I will no longer take this seriously in that sense. I will no longer take the gaming industry seriously. You'll know if that day comes. Oh boy, will you know if that day comes. But for now, I'm not there. And I don't want to be there. Because if I get to that point, unfortunately, it does signal that something in me has died. I've had my Joker moment, you know? And I've gotten pretty close. You guys have seen me get pretty fucking unhinged at times. And I've always had to reel it back where I'm like, bro, you're not, oh, chill, man. Don't go past the point of no return, because once you do, that's it. But yeah, I see it. You know, they're absolutely there. If you guys knew the type of shit that I ignored, the signals that I get from YouTube, from people who follow me, from the type of shit that I end up just being like, I'm good. It would drive people nuts, because it's just, the reality is, like, YouTube literally told me, like, because YouTube tells you that, especially now with the AI, YouTube tells you what's working and what's not. When I tell you that I have literally been signaled numerous times by YouTube, like, keep shitting on Xbox. Like, do it, man. Like, this is your thing, and this is what works. And I'm like, it's nice, but it's like, I don't, now I'm, you know, I already said what I had to say. I'm moved on. And they're like, no, bro. Trust me. Like, do it. And I'm telling you, it's really nefarious. And that's why I'm just telling you guys, like, when you watch YouTubers, all right, like, when, you know, little insider YouTuber secret, it's not really a secret, but just to give the viewer a better understanding, when you see these videos that people make, or even, I guess it does apply to streamers too, I guess, but more so for videos. When you see the stuff that people start to gravitate towards, believe me when I tell you, it's because YouTube is literally like, YouTube is like a trending tab on the Creator Studio. It'll, like, literally try to show you, like, here's what's trending. And it's really fucked up, man, in my opinion, where it's like, this has become such a nonsensical, disingenuous, toxic fucking cesspool, where it's like, you know, some people do it much better than others, but I'm just like, whatever happened to just, like, doing things from the heart, bro? I know that sounds so cringe, but, like, just like the where's the sincerity? Where's the actual passion? Don't get me wrong. You know, we all got to chase the bag. We all got to do what we got to do. But it's just, I hate how it's just become so, it's been like a slow decline over the years, where it's like, it's reached this level of, I don't know, man. Like, what I don't know what the fuck we're doing anymore half the time. You know, I don't know what people are doing. We're like, I'm seeing people, like, shit on a product, and then they're like, oh, I got gifted the product. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay. It's just like, nobody cares. People are like, just not caring anymore, man. And it's tough, because I'm a person that cares too deeply. I care too much for my own good. And I notice how difficult it's becoming to continue to care, where no wonder why people are breaking. No wonder why people are just saying fuck it, because we are living in a time, and again, I don't know if this is new or not, but as long as I've been doing this, I don't remember it being this way. We're living in a time where it's like, the rewards for being that way, like, the reward for saying fuck it, I don't care anymore, are so tantalizing and greater than ever, where it's like, what? Like, all right, I guess it's a little bit unsettling, you know? It is. Yo, it's full-blown war for Gaming Survivor. You're relaxed, man. You enjoy life. I love how respectful you are. You can joke around without actually being rude. And I love a good MVG rant. Well, I appreciate that. Look, I can't promise I'll never change. I want to promise that. I can't. You know, I am only human. I'm only a person. I know a lot of you guys, regardless of what the change will be, you'll you know, you'll still support, which I appreciate. MacBoy says, your boy Mac is finally a member. Congrats, MacTube. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry we got we had a day of crazy member gifting and you still didn't get it. But you stepped up. You're like, you know what? I'm going to do it myself. Don't let the dark side of the force win. Listen, man, I have this I don't know. Because the thing is, man, I want to tell you this. Here's a little internet secret as well. I know you guys know this. I'm not. You guys already know this, but sometimes it's fun to talk about it out loud. To say the quiet part out loud. One of the most, I don't even say it's popular. It's beyond popular. I don't even. It's just a thing that's been established. A staple of the internet is if you ever want to get away with kind of well, I don't know if I should do this, but I'll do it anyway. Just make it funny. Just laugh. Just laugh. Ham it up. Make it, just turn it into a joke. If you do that, you can get away with almost anything. And that, to me, that's the biggest thing that I've noticed, where it's one thing to see somebody seriously being an asshole. It's like, wow, you're just, there's something wrong with you. We've identified that pretty clearly. It's another thing when you see people, and I always observe this with such fascination because I can never determine. I just said to you guys, you guys already know this, but then I question, how true is that really though? Because I observe, I observe the reactions from people. I observe the viewers and the comments and and something that becomes clear is that one of two things is true here. Either everybody's in on it or nobody's in on it. And I'm like, that's weird. That's weird because it's you guys do realize that this is kind of this is kind of fucked up, not super fucked up. It's kind of fucked. Everybody knows that. And you can't really get an answer to that where it's yeah, everybody's just basically silently agreed to that or they actually don't know. And that's freaky to me because it's man, I think the second one would be a lot worse, So I'm not just rambling at this point. I've run out of gaming topics to talk about. I apologize. I was thinking about ending the stream 20 minutes ago, but figure we'll just shoot the shit for a little while. I'm a Yoda. You're saying I like that you've never had to shit on anyone else to actually be relevant. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, well, I mean, I've dabbled in it once or twice, mainly as from a defensive standpoint, but the reason why I've never been able to really go in that direction, because I've sincerely thought about it. I'm maybe I just have to, maybe this is the way forward. This is the future to a degree, but I'm no, it can't be that, that's such a tangled web where the only thing that becomes important is purely just getting attention, and I'm getting attention based off of I've tried dabbling recently in reacting to certain content, but not to shit on it or make fun of it, but to actually try to I don't know, what out of intrigue, even that I struggle with because I'm this is I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying for me personally, like this is this doesn't feel like I'm really, I don't know. It just doesn't feel quite right. It's not like I'll still do it occasionally. It's not a big deal. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it doesn't feel the same. It just doesn't feel the same. And reaction content's totally valid and it's necessary, I would say, especially if you're trying to like build a channel of any kind. You have to have some. I mean, half of the reason people are going to want to, or not want to check out your channel, but half the appeal of the algorithm is reaction. It's reactions. People want to know, like, oh, like, oh shit, whether it be angry or happy or whatever. So it's necessary. But I just sometimes question, like, how far do we take that? And sometimes it feels like it gets taken to a point where it's like, all right, well, like this really, like this is it, okay, but Gaming Survivor, uh-oh. Thank you, Joseph. You're saying, MBG, I genuinely believe if you don't follow review scores or the internet's opinions on games, you will enjoy games a lot better. Too much toxicity. That's what I'm doing this year. Yeah, MacTube, I fucking agree, bro. Like, it's so difficult for me because, like, I want it to be made clear that I'm also at the mercy of a lot of this. Like, I'm not trying to say I'm holier than thou or anything like that. I'm at the mercy of it too, bro. Where, like, I do run a PlayStation channel, and there are many times where I think about how I want to talk about this or talk about that, but I'm like, well, keeping in mind I'm a PlayStation-centric channel, how do I think that's going to work out? And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I just think the thing about what I do on my channel is, I mean, times like this, it's kind of rough because, dude, Sony's not doing shit. They're not doing shit. Like, it's not. It's because they're doing fine. Like, we know what's coming, and we know there's going to be a state of play. We know that they got Marathon and Saros and Wolverine, and there's going to be multiple state of plays. Like, we know they're doing stuff. I just mean, like right now, Sony's like, okay, yeah, we're just going to lay low while Resident Evil's showing their shit off, while Xbox is showing their shit off. So for me, it becomes a little bit of all right, well, I got to figure out how to kind of navigate this. And I won't lie, like, it starts to become, this is when it becomes super tempting for me to kind of go, to get a little bit crazy with it because, yeah, I get a little bit bored too, truthfully. Like, where it's like, oh, yeah, fucking Marathon. Like, I had to take Marathon out of my title because it's like, all I want to do is dump on it right now. And I don't want to do that because I'm like, it's not necessary. Like, it's just not. But I know that for some people, it's like, yeah, let's go, like, it's why, like, I don't want to keep, even though I do tend to do it. It's like, I don't want to make a stream, like, let me tell you what's wrong with The Last of Us again. Like, I just feel like it gets beaten to death. And then we're just beating a dead horse over and over. And that's what what I'm trying to tell you is, well, yeah, to be honest, I don't even think I would be dumping on it very much, MRPD, as much as I would. Truthfully, I'd probably just end up in this space where it's like, maybe, like, maybe, like, I'll try it out. But it's just like, the internet, you can thrive on the internet by, if you can really embrace that repetition. Because make no mistake, guys, I know this maybe isn't obvious to some people, but I think for some people it is. Like, dude, if I could do it today. I could do it right now. I'll do it right now. I'm going to turn my channel into an Xbox hate channel more than a PlayStation channel. How about that? Or, you know what? Xbox and PC hate. I'm anti-PC. I'm anti-Xbox. If I did that and then I just started every day making videos telling you about here's what's fucking wrong with this and here's what's wrong with that, something tells me it would go, it would end up for better. Like, I'm not saying it would be good attention, but it would get more attention. It would absolutely get more attention. But I can't bring myself to do that because it's just like, I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. I don't, man. I can't pretend to care about something I don't care about. But you know who can? Rich Rod. Rich Rod says, Xbox and PC gamers, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I don't need to do shit. You got it. Rich has got it. He's got it covered. He's like, I'll make that channel, bro. He says, shut the F up. You guys are super sus. Always tickling each other. You deserve sadness for life. Stop eating fruit nuggets and become men. All right, Rich Rod. And this man has the audacity to ask why I ain't making him a mod. Oh, man. You feel like we talk about Xbox and PC too much? It's just, dude, unfortunately, it's just right now, that's been the bulk of the, outside of Resident Evil and a new Marathon trailer, that's pretty much all the news there's been. Maybe, though. Maybe. Truthfully, I don't mind talking about any of this stuff if it feels relevant to the conversation. Damn, Gaming Survivor. Yeah, pretty much. What about Meta abandoning VR? Yeah, oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's been some big news. I mean, I unfortunately, I feel like it's not that surprising. I feel like VR has never blown up to be the thing that all these companies thought it was going to be. It's unfortunate, man. Some really good studios got caught in the crossfire of that. MBG, say something wise. I really need to quote you. Yeah, something wise. God, man, you know, when I'm put on the spot, suddenly I don't have anything wise to say. Enjoy gaming for today, for you know not what gaming tomorrow brings. There you go. There's your wise quote. I don't even know what the fuck that means. What does that even mean? I need to take my own advice here. Did I get a lot of snow recently? We've gotten a little bit of snow, but it's like it kind of just melted on its own. Enough said. We'll let our games do the talking. There you go. You love playing GT7 in VR too, just not all the time. Yo, Ghetto God's really trying to get that Last of Us 2 conversation going again. I could just have you know what? Topics I'll just have in constant rotation. Last of Us Part 2, Concord, Xbox, and maybe maybe I don't know, maybe some PC stuff where it's appropriate. There you go. That's it. It's only oh my God, bro. Gaming Survivor. That has been a negative influence. It's been a bad influence. No. Dan's like, yeah, I'll never come back if that's the case. How dare you, Dan? How dare you? No, we'll continue to. Speaking of which, I think we are going to wrap it up here because I've just been. Who knows what I'm even talking about at this point? But yeah, guys, it's all good, man. I appreciate you letting me just kind of ramble for the last like 30 minutes about absolutely nothing. Yeah, and hypogonadism. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Appreciate you tuning in today. Thank you for taking time out of your Sunday to hang out with me. We'll see what the upcoming week brings. We'll be streaming that show on Thursday, so I hope to see you then, but we'll probably, we'll be doing some regular content before then as well. But I did put out a video earlier, by the way, so if you missed that, you could go check on it, see if there's any topics that you like. And holy shit, Silent Spartan, bro, he did it again. Silent Spartan literally was just waiting in the shadows. He's like, I'm gonna just wait. This man just dropped 50 membership gifts. He just dropped 50 membership gifts during my outro. Silent Spartan.
Holy shit.
Another 30-minute stream now. I'll leave that to Silent Spartan. I feel bad because it's like I always feel bad walking away if somebody drops a big donation at the very end. But I'll leave it up to him. If he wants me to stay for a little bit, I will. It's the least I could do. But I've just been kind of rambling about the state of the internet in 2026. And I'm going to be honest, half the stuff I said, I don't even remember what I said. But I really appreciate that, Silent Spartan. I'm going to have to break the treats out for the cats. Guys, listen, if you got gifted a membership, because Silent Spartan's been an absolute, we call him the membership monster. He's been he's been showing crazy support for the community for a while now. If you got gifted a membership, when you're done here today, go check out some of the members' content. We did an afternoon with the missus recently. We also did a members lounge. It was like a 3.5 hour members lounge the week prior. We're gonna have more members content coming up this week. Hold on, let me. I'm trying to give boss some treats. He's been waiting. Come on, boss. Come on. It's time to feed. Yeah, Luna's gonna get some too. Yep. There you go. All 3 cats are here. Geez, you'd think they didn't eat this morning. All right. Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Let's time out Chris Brown in celebration of 50 member drop. Oh, Chris, we're gonna have to time you out, bro. We know that's why we know that's why he dropped 50 member gifts. No, really though, Silent Spartan, bro, thank you so much for that. It's been a really, really slow day, but bro still showed up with a 50 bomb. So let me add that to the counter, and I gotta do reps too. Gonna make me do reps. Marco 1987 says thanks for the membership. I've been seeing some new people getting memberships. It's interesting because I've been seeing people that have been asking for memberships getting them. I've also been seeing new people get memberships. So, who? Oh. Yeah, and I've tried to, by the way, I know Wes is in the chat. Dude, I can't find your name. I can't find your old name, bro. I've looked like 3 times. I'm trying to unban this dude. Opt in on your new name, see if it'll give you one. I've tried. Now, this is why I'm like really hesitant to ever ban anybody, because YouTube for some reason is weird. I'll go check again later. But damn, dude. There we go. Hold on one sec. Okay. I was just really confused because I was looking at another message from Rich Rod, and it is new. He says, I just added 2 new bangers to the AI chat. You had me banned, but Gaming Survivor freed me and my artists. Play them. Straight bangers. I guess I could when I go to do a couple reps. Rich mod. Yeah, Gaming Survivor, I know that's what you want. I know you want Rich as a mod, but that's too chaotic, bro. Chad A says, I changed my name in the YouTube account settings to match how it used to show up. Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's... most people I've recognized, but yeah, they're like there's this one guy named Zombie Dragon, or like that was his name, but ever since YouTube switched it, his name's just something totally different. But I recognize it's him because of his profile picture. I don't know why YouTube does that stuff. Rich, what's your good boss? Yeah, he inhaled those. What's your Twitter handle again? And I'll see if I can find those songs. Prince G's just like saying Eagles suck, 49ers suck. Prince G, who are you a fan of? Dwayne, you're saying MBG, I'm officially going to start RE Remake tonight. It's my turn on it. You've never played it before, Dwayne? That's exciting. Oh, you put it in... Okay, Rich, you put it in the Discord. Thank you. The AI chat. All right, got it. Okay, yeah, I understand now. Yo, Dwayne, I hope you enjoy it, man. Yeah, I just recently platinumed RE2 Remake, and it's a hell of a game, dude. Hell of a game. If it's your first time playing it, really enjoy it, because there's, you know, that's a game that if I could replay it for the first time again, you know, like erase my memory and play it again, I would. It's really, really good. All right, boss, you gonna let Luna get some treats now? I'll see if I can find these songs. Maybe that's how we could close out the stream. Oh my God. Rich. Okay, I see the picture. You need to chill, bro. I don't need... This is the type of stuff that's going to end up... I'm letting you guys know now, if I end up deleting my Discord, it's Rich Rod's fault. He doesn't even... Dude, you've been in here for what? 30 minutes? All right. Okay. I got multiple cats up here right now. We got 2 cats. Hold on. This is a rare occurrence. What's up, guys? Leia, you want some? This is like a super rare occurrence that we got both cats up here. That never happens. Boss is on alert for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Dwayne, you're saying no, you haven't played it. I got you excited for it and wanted to get in on it. Oh, and seeing the Resident Evil 9 showcase. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, let me know what you think of it. I'm curious. Let me know what you think, bro. I hope you enjoy it. It's tough. It's tough. The first playthrough is going to be a little tough. So just be prepared. But take it slow. If you get stuck on a puzzle, don't be afraid to look it up either. I'm going to be honest. Some of these puzzles can be frustrating. I'm not trying to like scare you. If you're not a puzzle guy, you'll be okay. But just don't be afraid to look stuff up if you have to. We have Rich Rod. You're lucky, Rich. You're lucky. Silent Spartan covered you. He covered all the Rich Rod tax today. He says, Wait, hold on. Wait, I'm confused. I just got a notification, but now it's not there. Rich, did you just send another direct donation? Whatever. Maybe I'm getting confused. My cats are just stressing me out because Luna's on the ground. You can't see her. She looks like she's going to start attacking them because she wants her treats. Okay, Leia. What's up? You want to say hello? Okay. Leia, just do not do what the other cats do and put your ass in the camera. I don't know what's gotten into Leia today. She wants to hang out. Give Luna some treats. Come on, Luna. Come on. I'm sorry. Yeah, Rich, I'm going to play your songs. I'm just, come on. Come on. There you go. We got too many cats, bro. We got too many cats. We need some AI music, MBG. All right, I'll play it. What are these tracks called? Xbox got no game. Okay. Well, Rich Rod's going to make sure.
Yeah. Whole squad laughing. You know what time it is. I'm a Xbox yeah. I'm a Xbox what? I'm a Xbox booty liquor, booty liquor. Hey, I'm a Xbox say what? I'm a Xbox I'm a Xbox yeah, booty liquor, booty liquor. We turn that box off, left it on the shelf. The logo looks sad, dust on the shelf. Friends list ghosted, lobby all silent. Only thing popping is the jokes we wildin'. Console war over that side got swept. Controller got drift, whole fan base left. Now they sitting in the chat talking wild, uncouth, saying what they really like. Yeah, we know the truth. They say we don't play games, we just play dumb. Talking about their habits, what they do for fun. Every other sentence got the same old theme. All about the back door, all about the cream. Whip swirl on it, they giggle, they brag. Treat it like a Sunday, flag on the flag. Acting like it's normal in the dead voice chat. Like, bro, that's what you into. They like, yeah, that. I'm a Xbox in the I'm a Xbox in the okay. I'm a Xbox in the yeah, booty liquor, booty liquor. I'm a Xbox in the say it. I'm a Xbox in the I'm a Xbox in the yeah, booty liquor, booty liquor. They used to flex specs, now they flex cheeks. Whole brand flipped in like 3 short weeks. Dashboard dry, but the convo thick. Every other joke got them talking slick. Snack out run, they ain't grab no chips. They grab that can with the twist top lips. Bring it to the couch with a sly little grin. Talking about game night, they ain't logging in. They like whip clouds, swirl till it drip. Pose for the cam, take a thirst trap pic. Tag all the homies like squad goals, fam. Whole feed filled with that same little scam. Meanwhile, that box in the corner look dead. Only time it start up is the fan in the vent. They don't even care, they just cheer off kilter. Chant it real loud like a guilty filter, huh? I'm a Xbox in the yeah. I'm a Xbox in the turn up. I'm a Xbox in the yeah, booty liquor, booty liquor. I'm a Xbox in the say what? I'm a Xbox in the I'm a Xbox in the yeah, booty liquor, booty liquor. Box dead, chat freaky, that's the whole picture. If you know, chant the hook with ya. Box dead, chat freaky, that's the whole picture. If you know, chant the hook with ya.
Okay, well, Rich Rod, what can I say, bro? You have delivered again. You have delivered again. That was good. No, that was good. What was that one line? They used to flex specs, but now they flex cheeks. That's nasty, bro. That's nasty. Holy shit. The next song is soft. Wait, hold on. Now Gaming Survivor's throwing one in. Dude, that's crazy. Wow. I had to go light on the shoulder press. I had to move a bunch of stuff around yesterday, and I like tweaked my shoulder. Not too serious, but I just gotta be careful. I don't know what the hell I did to it. All right, Rich, I gotta be fair. I'm gonna play Gaming Survivors next because it's been a little bit. Let's see.
Yeah. Y'all was loud before. Where that talk at now? Huh? Turn my mic up. Just a little bit. PC boys used to bark in the comments. Captain Save a Brand, whole crew on the nonsense. Praising every port, every half-baked launch. Now your king burned bread, y'all quiet in the front. You had charts, had memes, had threads. Console dead, tight, tough from a twin-size bed. Now your platform prints through deals in the dark. Buy the whole block out, tear the soul from the art. Yeah, where that consumer first sermon you preach. Where that pushback talk, all that reach. Same dude screaming, Monopoly at J. Now your daddy do the most, you looking away. Coward, where that same energy? Where's that? Where that same energy? Talk now. You was loud about PlayStation, loud about Switch. Now your PC king flip, y'all mute real quick. Where that same energy? Say word. Where that same energy? Say less. Whole timeline with ghosts, soon as profits. If it's PC, y'all fine with it. Y'all said options, freedom, we the real core. Now one suit slam doors, you just cheer for the score. Studio shutter, devs out on the curb. You reply day one pass, man, the nerve. Wow. You was posting think pieces, linking law text. Now it's touch grass, bro, ducking all context. Competition good till your side got the crown. Now you love one store, running every damn town. I seen fanboys flip like a Steam sale tag. Moral code on pause for a gift card bag. You don't love games, you just love your click. If it's your fave brand, do it suddenly it's lit. Fake. Where that same energy? Where it stand up? Where that same energy? Say it. You was clowning console kids, calling them drones. Now you bent for a launcher and a color tone. Yeah. Where that same energy? Speak up. Where that same energy? PC saviors turn sheep soon as money talk. Guess integrity cheap on a bargain shop. Facts. PC kings. We PC what? PC kings. Y'all hush up. You ain't check power, you just check sales. You ain't hold lines, you just post L's. Yeah. Where that same energy? Where it stand? Where that same energy? Too quiet. You had smoke for a logo, smoke for a name. Now your side torch fields, you defending the flames. Yeah. Where that same energy? Wake up. Where that same energy? Stand up. If the suits wreck games and you still clap tough, then your sacred PC, man, that set up suck.
Holy shit, dude. SoundSpartan says we need these on streaming platforms. I don't know. The website you guys use to make this, I think you both use the same one. I don't know what you can do with that. I don't know if you're able to actually like download it. But holy shit. This is just gonna have to be my background music the whole time. Just playing it softly in the background. Is it called Sono? That's crazy, man. I mean, at this point, I've gotten so used to it. It is real to me. You want to stream these on your PS5 Pro while you play. You know, I get the feeling you guys just want me to have my Joker moment, don't you? That whole conversation. SoundSpartan comes in, drops a couple memberships for you guys, and suddenly it's like, oh, shit. That's funny, man. So I've never tried to make an AI song. I've never used this website. I don't know how difficult. Like, I mean, I know it's like, oh, AI slop. Of course it is, but I don't know. I've never tried to make it, so I don't know. Should I try? Do I have to like make an account? Maybe I'll try to make my own song. You know what though? You guys are bad influences on me. PlayStation Pete, let me see, man. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, my bad, dude. My bad. I think that came through when the song was playing. PlayStation Pete, you're saying, I'm going to sell my Switch 2. I spent too much time and money on PlayStation. My friends say, your name is PlayStation Pete. Switch 2 down 35%. Yo, he had to make a choice. Somebody make a song. If you do, I won't play it today, but make a song about PlayStation Pete's difficult decision. Difficult but necessary decision to choose PlayStation over Nintendo. To choose his PS5 over his Switch 2. All right. Somebody make a song about that. MBG, serious talk. If gaming dies today, we'd be good. We'd be good until we pass away. There's so many PS1, PS2, PS3 from games from Japan we haven't played that we have fan translations now. I've been hearing about that. Yeah. Fan translated games. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't always have to be about the next big thing, you know? But that's the irony of our conversations, right? Like, not all of them, but conversations like we had today, regardless of what's going on, news cycle wise with PlayStation, regardless of what's going on with the RAM shortage and the PC market, hardware collapsing and Switch being down 35%, regardless of all that, like, there's just no denying that there's going to be an overwhelming amount of games to play this year. So, you know, I feel like you'd probably see me go full villain mode if that wasn't the case. I just want you to know the only brand that ever made me go full villain mode was Xbox. Just saying, man. They broke me, and that's why I'm like grateful that just across the board, we're having one of the strongest years ever for games, because with the way stuff is looking right now and the way people are talking, it just makes me feel like, man, if this wasn't a strong year for games, yeah, okay, then you'd probably have true doomer BG, you know, where it's like I wouldn't be able to deal with that. And Rich Rod, you're saying my R&B song, it's a different kind of banger. All right, I'll play that last one, Rich. All right. I'll play his last song. Let's see. And yeah, from now on, you guys can post these. Perfect. Hold on. Perfect Image posted one too. Steam Machine Massacre. Oh my God. Why do I feel like this Discord's going to end up being the end of me? All right, let me see. It's called Last Login Failed.
They took the box, pulled the plug, dimmed the sign. All my friends signed out, tiny grave in the TV light. Party chat goes, last seen, then offline. Now it's just you and me on this worn out couch tonight. Guess we're experts coming out the closet. Yeah, since there's nothing left to play, we talk instead, holding hands where we used to hold controllers. Kingdom's gone, every server cold and red. Xbox is dead, and the dashboard won't load. We respawn as lovers scared, but we're close. Let the world laugh, let the forums explode. We found a new game in the ruins of the old. Scroll the news, shut it down in bold. Trading piles, tactic dreams sold. Outside they brag, those death-bound kings. Filthy clickers, grease on keys and rings. Guess we're ex-boss coming out the closet. Oh, since there's nothing left to grind, we breathe instead, sharing arts where we used to share achievements. Every broken menu flashing in my head. Xbox is dead. No green glow in the dark, so we light each other up. Little spark, let the chair-bound cowards scream from their thrones. We level up love while they stare at stones. They match and they boast, but they don't touch skin. Chasing frames, never letting anyone in. Let them farm dust, chasing fake crowns. We got endgame kisses when the servers went down. Hey, we're Xbox. Yeah, we're out of the closet. Since there's nothing left to play, we stay instead. Turn our lobby into something like a bedroom. Loading screens replaced by your head on my chest. Xbox is dead. Lay the console to rest, but I'd lose every match to call you the best. Let the chair-bound choirs cough in their caves. We got no more just each other to say.
Bro, Rich Rod, let me get this straight. You made a song. You made a song about Xbots turning gay for each other after Xbox died. I don't think there's any coming back from this one. Oh yeah, Silent Spartan. Yeah, we got a Discord now. Unfortunately, it'll be great. It'll be great. It's linked. Yeah, it's linked in the chat. I think we have one more here. Oh, hold on. Let's see.
Yeah. PlayStation Pete in the building. You know what it is? Name ring bells, they repeat it. Whole block know me as PlayStation Pete. Joy-Cons dusty, that box been sleeping. Need Switch 2 gone by the end of the weekend. Ask what I play, they offended. Say Mario, nah, that era ended. Got blue X's on my brain, I'm branded. But I still got this handheld, barely been handed. Screen still clean, that plastic gleaming. Rarely left dock, I ain't even streaming. Cartridge slot like a virgin dreaming. Why buy this, man, what was I thinking? Neighbors' kids keep pressing for price. I'm like, cash up front and I ain't taking advice. You want these George, you gon' pay for the life. Cause this little tablet finance my night. Switch 2, PlayStation Pete here to flip you. I don't play that. Ain't my lane, that's true, but I still tax high when I ship you. Who need that? Switch 2, shout best offer and I pick you. I'm a play guy. But the sale go through, gotta move that box just to stack my loot. Posted that pic, lil caption greasy. Use once, mint con, local meetup easy. Inbox flood like they trying to please me. Low ball cats get curved real sleazy. Bro 200, you must be dreaming. Check retail, then we can start speaking. I got receipts, I got reason. Price firm like my stance this season. I'm from the block where we trade and hustle. Flip old tech like we shuffle muscle. Hit pawn spots through the number subtle. Turn last year's toy to a duffel. Yeah, I'm Pete with the P on the pad. But I'll move your switch if the margin ain't bad. Brand on my name, but my heart in the bag. Loyal to the bread, never loyal to the tag. No need that. Switch 2. PlayStation Pete here to flip you. I'll play that. Ain't my lane, that's true, but I still count bills when I ship you. Who need that? Switch 2. Shout best offer and I pick you. I'm a play guy. But the sale go through, gotta move that box just to stack my loot. Hi, yeah, Pete. Hi, yeah. Who pride? Hi, yeah. Switch. Hi, yeah. Stop pride. You want that deal? Then slide that feet. Cause Pete don't play when it comes to the green. Who need that? Switch 2. PlayStation Pete here to flip you. I don't play that. Ain't my lane, that's true, but I still tax high when I ship you. Who need that? Switch 2. Shout best offer and I pick you. I'm a play guy. But the sale go through, had to sell that Switch just to stack my loot.
Bro, I asked him to make... Yeah, AI is scary, dude. I asked him to make a song about PlayStation Pete, and we'd play it next time. It was made within 5 minutes, bro. That's it. That's enough. Oh, man. Dude, that's crazy. Come on, sing along. Sing along, MBG. Oh, man. All right. Well, guys, Silent Spartan effectively extended the stream for about 35 minutes. You guys can thank him for that, because some of you clearly enjoyed that. God, I'm gonna have to yeah, amazing. It is crazy, dude. Do a little dance next time. I can't really dance. Yeah, I'm not a good dancer. It would be so weird, bro. I would have done more reps, but I got to be careful. I tweaked my shoulder. I got to let it rest, unfortunately. That's crazy though, man. AI is just so disturbing. MBG, I know you don't like hip hop, so I'm getting secondhand cringe from you. What do you mean? What do you mean, Mac? No, I mean, I don't dislike hip hop. I just don't. It's like not something I normally listen to though. Oh, you think I'm cringing at it? Is that what you mean? No, I actually think it sounds good. The only ones where I start to get like a little bit cringy is like if it's like really like when they do like the really emotional ones, I'm like, oh god, I don't even know how to react. Well, damn man, maybe I'll start doing like an outro or something. Maybe I might have to start making some. I don't know. I'll have to make like an extended member goal beyond reps. It'll be like a AI slop outro where I just play like a myriad of the songs you guys have. You know, I'll put like the I don't know. I'll just put like some kind of random screen up or some shit with a little dance. You're not gonna catch me dancing, bro. You need the Discord link. So anybody who wants to join the Discord, if you need the link, it's in the pinned comment in the chat up top. All right. It says join the MBG Discord. Click that link. But yeah, feel free. By the way, anybody can join the Discord. Thank you, Mrs. MBG. Drop that link for you. If you guys want to share, you know, a join link out to your friends or, you know, people that you think would enjoy the Discord, feel free to do that. We will, you know, try to bring in as many people as we can. I'm trying to, you know, take Discord a little bit more seriously this time. No, I've never done that. I've only danced a few times in my life. I'm not, it's weird because I'm a drummer, so I have rhythm, but dancing is not, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't come that naturally to me. MBG generates an AI song on the spot and then just plays it as the outro. I don't know. I might check out this website. I might check it out. Is this like the go-to? I'm assuming this is the go-to website to generate AI songs. Do the Charlie Brown, yeah. Dude, if I ever do like some kind of dance, that's just gonna be a GIF. You know? Sorry, Joseph. I'm sorry to disappoint. But yeah, guys, I think this will be a good place to wrap up today's stream. I do apologize that I didn't have. I said I was going to talk about the God of War TV show. I said I was going to talk about Marathon. I ended up kind of deviating and going in a different direction. And I think truthfully it's because I kind of talked about these things earlier this week. This is often the problem I have sometimes coming into Sunday streams, which I'm going to have to figure it out, where if there's no news between Friday and Saturday, then basically my only other option is to kind of reiterate some of the topics, retread some of the topics we already discussed. So I'll have to. It was nice talking about Resident Evil, though. Everyone's getting smoked. Oh my god. Yeah, that's going to be the new thing. MBG dancing. Somebody will make an AI video of it. There you go. You just do that. Why not? You think experiment doing Sunday streams for members only? It's an interesting thought. Yeah, the whole thing. So I will say before I head out, I've been doing this new thing. It's been working out pretty well. And you guys may have noticed, like, before I do any members content, I do like a public stream. I call it like a member drop, where it's basically just to let everybody know we are going to be doing members content. And it's like another opportunity for people to try to get membership gifts and to encourage people. And it's actually worked out really well. So it's like a possibility that maybe we could try something like that, where like we could do like a Sunday member drop for like an hour or something, you know, try to drop some member gifts, get people to become members, and then we can move on to a members only stream. It's an idea. It's an idea. It's always just tough because I'm always trying to figure out like which topics are worth covering on the channel, which ones do I actually have something to say about versus, like unfortunately there are times where I'm like, oh, this is a good topic, but then I realize like I don't actually have much to say about it. It's fine to cover in a video because I don't really have to say much about it. I'll just let you know what's going on, say my piece, give my 2 cents for like 30 seconds, and then move on to the next topic. It's different when I'm streaming live because it's like, we're going to be having an extended discussion. It'd be like a pre-show. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I could experiment with it. We could try. We'll see. More gameplay streams would be nice. Yeah. Yeah, still haven't figured out the issue with my capture card. I have tried everything. I'm seemingly going to have to buy another one or something. In the meantime, though, anytime I do want to have any kind of gameplay on the channel, I'll have it pre-recorded, which actually makes it a lot easier for me to talk to you guys, in the live chat. So, but yeah, guys, I think that will wrap it up today. Got to give a big shout out to Silent Spartan, bro. He came in and he successfully extended the stream, but he came in, he dropped 50 member gifts for you guys. Thank you once again for that. And, yeah, I want to thank everybody for dropping any support, whether it be super chats, direct donations, memberships. If you become a member, really appreciate it. We are completely fan funded. I can only do what I do here because of the community support. You guys make it happen. So thank you so much for that. And I also want to give a shout out to Devil Shooter, who does the timestamps for the streams. If you guys see him in the comments with those timestamps, give him some thanks. Show him some love. I know he appreciates it. He does a great job. And just a reminder, once again, consider joining the Discord. It's linked above. It's linked in the description. So you're welcome over there. And yeah, I think today I'm going to try to make more progress with the Mafia Platinum. Going to try to relax a little bit. Still have shoulder pain, man. Don't know what I did. You can leave, but leave the stream going so I can keep spamming the chat. Why? No, that can't be good. Oh, yeah, and I did put out a video earlier. Like I said, a news video. So you can go check that out if you're interested. But that's it, guys. The only other thing I'm going to ask you to do is to please hit that like button on your way out. And as long as everything goes according to plan, we should be back here tomorrow, okay, with some more content. We'll have to see what this upcoming week brings news cycle-wise. So, yeah, that's it. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you again. I will catch you in the next one. Until then, take care, everyone.